morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2022 WCF Golf Croquet World Championship. This morning we will be watching Matthew Essex versus, versus Robert Fletcher. However, I'll just take their scores down because we don't actually know who will be black and blue and who will be red and yellow just yet. The game won't actually start until 10 o'clock. So I'm going to leave you just watching the club. Have a chat amongst yourselves, and I'm going to be sending over Chris and Jenny Clark to commentate for you around 10 to 10. Have a lovely day watching, everyone. Hi everybody, we're about to start watching the players warming up, we think. And so I'm going to introduce you to your commentators this morning, Jenny and Chris Clark. Thank you very much to both of you.
Good morning from Southwick. I'm joined by Jenny this morning for the first hour and a half or so. And beautiful day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Can't see any clouds at all.
No, it is absolutely pure blue, and the wind a little bit less than yesterday, just a very, very mild breeze.
Yeah.
So we're going to be focusing on the match on lawn 2, the semi-final between Matthew Essick from the USA and Robbie Fletcher from Australia. Both of these players did very well in the last AC Worlds. Matthew reached the final and Robbie got to the semi. And it's interesting today that the two semi-finals have 3 current or past AC World Champions and 1 runner-up.
Yeah, it just shows, I think, the volume of play and variety of play seems to be a very strong predictor of success.
I think possibly also the consistency that's needed in AC, where one mistake is penalised so heavily, whereas at GC you can get away with the odd poor shot, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, one failed hoop, little bit of bad luck. In AC, it's the end of the game.
And this is the first ever GC Worlds without an Egyptian in the semi-final.
Yes, and in fact, Reg said it may be the first ever GC Worlds without an Egyptian in the final. You know, they've normally performed very, very solidly.
And they've sent some very strong players. We know how good Mo Karem is. Obviously the Naz brothers, Amarelle Bieri, Akwet El Mahdi. This is not a weak Egyptian team, is it?
No. There have been a few comments on Facebook, actually, the suggestions that the Egyptians may have been slightly disadvantaged by the fact that they use different balls. I know they've had a lot of trouble running hoops the last few days.
But again, going back to this balls issue, it's really probably about 7 years ago that the Egyptians swapped, and I think they moved from using their own Egyptian balls in their October Egyptian International Open to using Dawson's. So they've been using them a long time. We've been using them in all the World Championships, all the Open Shore Shields, and I don't think that's a sort of valid reason.
But yeah, I don't know. I do very much have a query as to how the Dawson balls would survive in Egyptian conditions. You know, in the heat, although obviously they generally play not in the extremes of heat, and also the ball. Yeah, they play a lot, so the balls would get a huge amount of use and be hit very hard. Yeah, we've seen here, I think Ian Burridge described one of the balls he played with yesterday as a marble. So basically the milling had just been worn off it. And I'd seen a few balls like that. So, you know, I do worry about the longevity of them playing in Egyptian conditions.
So this match today between Matthew and Robbie, to me, by far and away the more interesting semi-final. It could be extremely dynamic. Both players hit the ball hard. Robbie played very, very well in his match earlier in the tournament against JP Mobley, and there was lots of hitting in that. And yesterday he really cruised through against Mohamed Naz in his quarterfinal in straight games. So I had to go through a playoff to get through his block. That gives you an idea that he was a little bit weak to start with, but every day he's getting stronger. He's a good player under pressure. I think the one element that I've been most impressed with is he's made some of the hoops look easy. And I think if you watched the quarter-final yesterday between Akbed Naz and Robert Fulford, neither of those players were making the hoops look easy, were they?
Yeah, I mean, Robert's a huge, huge practicer, but, you know, he's got other things in his life now. So he said to me earlier that, you know, in other times he might have stayed behind and done a bit of hoop running practice. So, I think that's a huge thing, that all of these players either practice a lot or play a lot, or, in Robbie's case, he's turned up here a bit unfit, having not played, but he's got so much behind him of that practice and just consistency now.
Technique-wise, this is a fascinating one to watch. You're going to see Robbie Fletcher using a very standard right-handed standard grip, hands together, swings coming from the shoulders, all good. Matthew, you're going to see variety, something we don't often see. Matthew's I'm going to call him a Solomon grip player.
Interesting, yeah. Apparently he previously played Solomon grip for powerful clearances and anything over a couple of yards.
But he's going to actually play quite a lot of his shots during this match Irish grip.
Yes.
And I really can't think of somebody who changes as much during a match between two completely different grips as Matthew.
Jerry Stark used to.
Ah, that's an interesting point. Jerry definitely did.
So it's a lovely sort of nod to the legacy of Jerry.
For those of you who are fairly new to the game, Jerry Stark, sort of a legend of American croquet, probably their first real world-class player, and unfortunately we lost him quite a few years ago now, isn't it? It's 8 or 9 years ago, or
must have been now, yeah.
So delightful, larger-than-life character, and really put American croquet on the map. And the players of today are all making America even better than Jerry perhaps had hoped. They're really a world force now, winning world championship medals and threatening higher positions in the McRobertson Shield.
Well, and they've got some youngsters who are just fabulous. Blake Fields has played really well here. They've got Ben Rothman's not very old now.
No. And more new players in their MAC team. So let's just go through this technique again. So what we're expecting from Matthew is on the longer or harder shots, he's going to play Solomon.
Yes.
And on the touch shots or shorter shots, he's going to play Irish.
Yes, most of the time. He played some slightly firmer shots Irish yesterday, but predominantly Solomon.
So he's taking position from hoop to hoop 1 from corner 4 using Irish. So although it's a long shot, he's regarding it as a touch shot.
Yeah, he's not playing with power.
So the direction is obviously less critical than the weight of the shot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So these positional shots appear to be Irish.
It's interesting. We could just see him use half as practice for Irish and half for Solomon. I don't know. It's also interesting that generally an Irish player will play with a shorter mallet.
Yeah.
And he is playing Irish at the top of a reasonably long mallet.
And another differentiation.
Good.
Yes, absolutely. Another differentiating factor in this match is going to be how well these players run the odd hoops. They're not very often going to be just smashing it off the lawn. They're actually going to be trying to run the controlled hoop that the AC players have that advantage with. And we'll see, 5 run to 6 and 3-1 run to 4, unless they're running it from a long way away.
Well, it's interesting that, yes, so these players will predominantly try to run hoops the next one, although I note that Reg has a very firm hoop stroke normally, and I think Reg is just really comfortable with the return. When he's on the boundary, clearing the first ball that plays up to a hoop.
But again, when you run it to the boundary, you offer the opponent that wide spot, don't you?
Yeah.
So I think these two are two of the best hoop runners in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Matthew's just been fabulous. His hoop running, his ball striking, he has hit so many yards of shots. And Robbie, when he was 3-0 down, I think, against JP, was it in the third game?
Yeah.
And suddenly he just turned on this phenomenal display of hitting. My pick's Robbie 3-2.
Well, I think it's 3-2. Both these players, I believe, are good under pressure.
Yes.
Matthew had a 4-yard 13 to run yesterday, and he took virtually no wire. That's tough to do when you're playing someone as good as Mo Karem.
That was really strong. Just taking position at 13 and running it. Was really good shot up to 13. Slightly longer shoot. Looked solid and stable. Look at his beautiful body position just in his warm-up. He's very, very still hitting the ball.
Who do you go with?
Robbie.
So I also agree with you again there. So isn't it boring? We've got two commentators and they both come up with 3-2 to the same person.
It's a bit difficult. I'm a bit biased and a big fan of Robbie. So, you know, predicting 3-2, and I just want to see the guy win.
Yeah, I mean, I want a good match.
And Matthew's a really nice guy too.
It's a little bit of Antipodean favouritism, is it?
Absolutely, yes.
Um,
And, well, also, we've seen Robbie turn up, be a bit rough because he hasn't practiced. He's well off season. Creep through, get through the qualifier, and get stronger and stronger and stronger. And, you know, I haven't seen much of Matthew play, but Robbie's peaking really well. I think Robert and Reg are as well, though.
I'm not sure about Robert. I'm not sure yesterday's performance was particularly strong. I think he found Akabednaz generally out of form, and he made it over the line with that big jump shot at hoop 9.
Yeah, I was talking to him about that. He said he'd rather some of the shorter ones had possibly gotten through than that one.
Yeah, I thought it looked like going to 5-ball in the decider, and then it's anyone's, isn't it?
I think he was better than in the opens, though. He seems to be. It feels to me like he's hitting the ball more consistently.
Okay.
He struggled a bit with his hoop running in the opens, but for Rob, his big difference is his positional play, and just his creativity as well.
Yeah, I thought if people played like they did in the opens, none of them would have got to the semi-final.
Reg was poor in the opens.
Yeah,
and he's been good here.
To me, the last 3 days, Reg has found his best form, and I think when he's playing at his best, he's unbelievably difficult to beat.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting a reversal of the Open final today, and I'm expecting Reg to win that.
3-1.
And Jenny fancies 3-1. I'm going to go... I'm sort of halfway between 3-1 and 3-0.
Yeah.
So...
Hey, just watching Matthew with the setup here. We've obviously got a bit of a multi-pace lawn with the shadows in the morning. However, just watch him when he gets up to playing up to hoop 6. The runway up to hoop 6 is incredibly fast, especially approaching 6.
So yesterday afternoon, the lawns for the first time had genuine pace. They're probably running at around 12 seconds.
Yep.
And the rumours are if you went up to lawn 10, it was running at 15. Now, I haven't got anywhere near lawn 10 this tournament because it's really difficult to get to if you're a spectator. But 15 is unbelievably fast, and I think this afternoon I'm going to try and go up there.
I think we need to measure that
and see whether it's a little bit of over-exaggeration.
It's a bit of a player's thing that if you're failing to take position, you suddenly state how quick the lawn is. The lawn's unbelievably fast, but watch this ball.
But these two at the moment are clearly less fast than lawn 1 was yesterday afternoon.
Right.
So I'm hoping as the day goes on, that extra couple of seconds.
Oh, he's played it very nicely.
It's still just moved to a 45-degree position, hasn't it?
Yeah, Robbie's first couple of shots up to there just kept going. I think that'll be fun this afternoon.
I think we saw in front of hoop 10 and hoop 3 on lawn 1 was really quick. It looks on this lawn as if the area in front of 7 and 2 is probably the fastest part on the lawn.
Yeah, it's got a lovely colour starting to come up.
But yeah, definitely a couple of seconds added during play yesterday. And see, that's running on nicely, isn't it?
And what lovely touch play. I mean, I know it's just the practice and there's no pressure, but you want to be good in the practice. You want to just start giving yourself a bit of confidence, building that consistency. I think a difference we might see in the other semi-final today is they've got new hoop holes today.
New hoop holes on both these semi-final lawns. So they're already fairly firm. I'm hoping that they're not just going to be firm, but they're going to last longer. So
Yeah.
they're really only lasting one shot and then having to be banged down again to be firm again. I'm hoping they're going to last a couple of hours this morning without too much firming up.
Yeah, the problem really, and I played on lawn 1 about 3 days ago, the problem was that the ball consistently hitting the holes at ground level, the holes were starting to get quite high, quite large, so you could actually see an empty gap around the carrots. So the carrots were only being held in very low.
Yeah.
And when the ball was struck, it wasn't just that it was a bit loose. When the hoop was struck, it was utterly floppy after every single shot.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing I think is that the ground around the carrots sort of turned to dust. So it wasn't even where there was ground, it wasn't holding them very strongly. So they should last a couple of hours maybe.
Exactly. And isn't it fascinating that I think the watering was turned off around Monday, Tuesday, just 3 or 4 days of sun, and these are now, what, if we were playing AC on these, we'd be completely happy, wouldn't we?
Oh, they're beautiful. I mean, all credit to Southwick for what they've done. We played the British Open, the lawns were pretty green, the hoops were utterly trivial to run. These are physically the same hoops, and they've got some genuine difficulty in them.
And going back a week, we had all that sand coming up behind the ball. Now that's much minimised, isn't it?
That's really settled. You're not seeing the tails of sand coming up as the ball runs.
So to start off with, that sand was actually slowing the lawns down, and now by creating a smoother surface, having settled in, it will be speeding the lawns up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they might have wanted to sand a week earlier, but you've no idea the schedule and booking constraints, and they have done so much work for this event. I think they've done incredibly well.
So Matthew now taking position at 13. And we always say, don't forget this, because lots of people go around and they make the 12 hoops and they forget about taking position at 13. And it can be so important in the match.
Yeah, they have, we've got the regulations of 10 minutes play, but basically what every single player's done here really is go round, take the 2 balls around all of the hoops, finish up by approaching 13. Most people like to finish up by having a couple of shots at hoop 13.
Well, I was going to say almost the opposite. I was going to say do that, and then they finish up by playing their last few shots from corner 4 to hoop 1.
Yeah, and certainly go back to corner 4 and hit the hoop 1, and that's the last 2 shots you want to play, is having a controlled shot taking position.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can see south of the line of hoop 1 and 4, it's in shadow.
Still in shade, and that's why that section of the lawn is always slower, gets less sun. And interestingly, on lawn 4 actually has quite a lot of shadow still in the corner 1 area, and that stays quite a long time into the morning.
Yes, and it just looks greener over on that lawn. This one's got the much shinier sort of pale patches. This looks like a lovely lawn. I would enjoy playing AC here too. Yeah,
so Bamford and Fulford on lawn 4, and the idea is that tomorrow we get the final on lawn 1.
Yep, which should be tricky. I hope they start a bit later as well, just to get rid of some of those shadows.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be starting about 11 o'clock, get a mid-afternoon finish in front of a big crowd.
Looks like we've got ball boys today as well.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to know whether we have referees in charge or referees on call, and perhaps we can identify that. Frances Coleman looks like she's got this lawn as her responsibility today, but is she on call or is she in charge?
Yes, we had some question about that in the qualifier, where there's a huge distinction. In charge can wander onto the lawn at any stage and oversee anything they want to. On call can sit in their seat until they're summoned, or of course some of the allowances that allow a referee to come on.
And just starting on lawn 1, we've got I think it's the Shield final.
It is, yeah. Four players contested the Shield, so they had the semi-finals yesterday.
And we'll keep you updated on the score of that. It's between JP Mobley and Stu Smith, so an England winner of the Shield.
Yep.
And Stu's had a fantastic tournament, hasn't he?
Oh, fantastic pick for my fantasy team. He's played really well. Really pleased for him. He's played really solidly and consistently. Might be up against it against JP, but he'll be loving this challenge.
Yeah, I would say JP is a very strong favourite here, although I'm told by the English players that Stu has an exceptionally good record against JP.
Right.
They played each other in the block stage and JP did win, but that was like an upset almost because of Stu's fantastic record against him. I just think Stu's probably going to take on a lot of long-range hoops.
Yep.
And because they're firm now, JP's more balanced game is going to come to the fore there.
Yeah, so Lawn 1, they haven't moved the hoops, but the guy that was setting them looked like he was doing a cracking job this morning.
So the players have finished their practice on our show lawn, Lawn 2, the lawn we're going to be focused on. And we should be up and running in the near future. Best of 5.
Yep, these two players are both relatively quick. So, you know, they will get on with it. I think there'll be some massive shooting battles, though. I think it's going to be a fantastic game.
Yeah, it's one of these things where you've seen the players play really well in the preceding rounds, and you're just hoping they both perform to their true ability.
Yeah.
And just give us a treat.
Yeah, I mean, this is the stage of the tournament that they come to play for as well. You know, playing a best of 5 at the really, you know, critical end of the tournament. And this is something that Robbie has done lots and lots of times, which is a bit of an advantage for him. I mean, Matt Essick was runner-up in the last AC Worlds, but has a bit less finals experience.
Yeah, significantly less finals experience. But I was really pleased with how Matthew played in his AC Worlds final at Cairnley. I've seen a lot of people playing their first AC Worlds final and they've just sort of fallen over and looked weak.
Yep.
And Matthew put out a genuine performance, which I was very impressed with. Beating Reg is always difficult, and he took a game.
Yep.
And he looked competitive, and I think it will stand him in good stead for the future. So, yeah, lots to look forward to. Robbie's won the toss. He'll be black and blue, and we're up and running.
Huge first shot, really. You just want to get that ball in front and take advantage of your toss.
Now it's gone outside the corner, so he won't be running that.
He's gone for quite close position as well, I think. Yeah, given his fantastic skill at running hoops, you'd probably like him to just hang back a couple of feet.
So gone on the line I would have gone on.
Okay.
Like to try and get in close to these hoops.
Yeah, but I want a hoop shot. Even if it's an angled one, I'd like a hoop shot first up.
So Matthew's going to play deep here. So blue can't clear that.
Yeah, chances are Matthew will get the first shot at hoop 1 now.
Robbie's got blocking options.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think he'll play the same line again here. So quite tight into the hoop. And just try and take a yard of pace off it. 4 foot of pace. It's short.
It's short. It's a lot deeper as well, actually.
It is deeper.
But no, I agree with your option for black. It's, again, I'm not sure black's got a shot at the hoop.
So straight off, Matthew's won the positional battle. Robbie's got a couple of options. He can either sort of try and play the blue in front of the hoop, possibly even drawsing it. Or he could just clear yellow here, couldn't he? And say, okay, Matthew, early stages, have your 6-yard shot with red.
I think he's just going to run the hoop, actually.
If he runs this hoop, I'm going to be astonished. So this is outside the corner with quite difficult hoops. Near wire.
Yeah. One thing that's a really big credit to these players, in their warm-up, they ran the hoops gently. They didn't fiddle with their settings.
Absolutely. Are you surprised by this? He's obviously thinks yellow's much easier.
No, I 100% think this is what I'd expect from him.
He's gone up to hoop 2 as well there, Jenny.
Yeah, you get a bit of a loosener. getting up to hoop 2 is a fantastic shot, and yellow is just much closer. Obviously, it gives Robert the chance to clear him.
And I think this is going to be a big part of this match. These players, both of them, are clearing these 20-yarders more often than virtually anyone else in the tournament.
Yes.
Obviously early days, so we expect them to not be at peak performance probably until halfway through this first game. Missed on the right.
Wasn't close, I don't think.
No, and we'll see if Matthew can now take advantage of this red up within about 5 yards of hoop 2 by running hoop 1.
And really, this is the first proper shot at the hoop, so the hoop will be firm.
Yeah, it's far wire, bounce back, has it blocked the blue ball. Now I'm going to argue that the reason we haven't got an Egyptian in the semi-final is how difficult the hoops have been.
Yeah, their hoop running's been poor generally.
That's a nice shot. He's stop shot yellow just a couple of yards away, but he can't hit blue unless it goes through the hoop, I don't think.
Yeah, red here could just be shooting at yellow.
Certainly a valid option, isn't it?
Yeah. Probably taking position. He's got a Solomon grip though.
Now that's his
So it's a
shooting
shot.
grip. Hits yellow, excellent shot.
Great
Yellow
shot.
now open on the blue ball. The question is, does Robbie fancy moving black 2 feet to block yellow at blue?
It's a fairly easy block, and the lawn is still reasonably, reasonably paced. It's not going to just roll on down there.
I think I want to do this because Matthew's got this quite strong red on the south boundary now. I think the block is really important.
Well, you're also running the hoop up to hoop 2.
So if you've got any chance that black might hit yellow on the block, you want to mark yellow because it's an
Absolutely.
outside agency.
I think some of the Egyptians are a little bit aggrieved that the rules and maybe conventions, particularly in their game, are quite different to what's being played outside Egypt. You know, things like this blocking balls being in contact. It's not what they play. They just put a ball on and carry on. They've got a really, really nice way of just getting on with things, whereas we've codified the rules very strongly to try and have a very consistent approach.
So Matthew's going to jump this. A flat jump shot, trying to get yellow on the ground quickly. Just a little hop over that. Excellent shot.
Hit it quite hard, actually. It could easily have bounced over.
Could easily have bounced over. He's judged it absolutely spot on, and that's a quality shot, wasn't it? Again, the firmer shot with his Solomon grip.
I think probably black needed to go a bit closer to yellow because that shot was very on. Yeah, it was just a great distance that you're always going to clear it. So what are you fancying with red if this blue ends up in front then?
Well, yellow's about 14 yards away. I think Matthew might regard this as a free go. So red at the hoop, and then if it fails, Matthew's good enough that he's going to hit the middle of the wire, one of our golden rules.
Yep.
Don't have to go at the hoop unless you're confident you're going to stay within the vicinity of it. If you miss,
Solomon grip. Sorry,
it's an
Irish grip.
isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, quite interesting.
But look how hard he's hit it. It's a really good hoop shot too.
And he's thinking that's run. You know, when he's hit it, he's thinking, oh, it's sort of in the middle of the hoop. It's going to go through, and they're firmer,
Yep.
and they're not going through.
He's hit that really well, and he's in all sorts of trouble now.
And you know, if Rob can take 2 foot straight position here, if yellow misses blue, I think blue will clear red. That's.
Ooh, is that blocking blue?
I think it's okay. I think it's okay. So yellow at blue.
Shooting.
He's been really good at this distance.
We're shooting at this one. We've got the Solomon grip out. Look how
Ooh.
still his body is. It really is a great example of technique.
So, blue at red,
Yes.
leave black the easier hoop,
Yep, red up to corner 10.
or is he going to just run the hoop?
Well, he might, mightn't he?
I think he's going to clear red. Oh, he'll be disappointed with that. That's half ball at most. And he's left Matthew, well, this isn't more than about 13 yards, is it?
No. Just a bit of settling. I mean, that's why they're clearing rather than running hoops, just to get that aiming. You know, on
Interesting.
form.
This is a 13-yarder, and he's playing Irish grip. And the last shot was a 14-yarder, and he played Solomon grip.
Yeah. Well, the last shot was certainly a smash because he was going towards a short boundary. This one, interestingly, he hit it at medium pace. What happened there?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, Jenny.
I thought Robert had played it onto the lawn, and it looks like Matthew's getting him to play it again. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe he was just sorting out its position.
Yeah. Anyway, Rob's taking the hoop on here. Just, again, these players will regard this as a free go. He knows if he takes position, both red and yellow can easily clear him. So why not have a go at the hoop?
Tell you what, Robbie's playing a lot faster than in this tournament than I've noticed previously.
He's someone who probably has the greatest range of speed that I've seen. He can play really slowly, and he can play really quickly.
Yes.
And I think at AC, where he just tries to put enormous focus and concentration into it, he slows down a bit.
Yeah, and he's caring about the positions of two balls very often in AC as well.
And at GC, it's more of a fluent game, isn't it? You're trying to get into a rhythm.
Yeah, I was talking to him about that new rule for overlapping play, and he didn't seem particularly aware of it. I mean, we've only really fully become aware of it just before this tournament, thanks to Ian Burridge raising it.
So, yeah, if you hit a ball when your opponent's last ball's still moving, it's disastrous, isn't it?
Yeah, your shot's cancelled, basically.
Yeah, loss of turn, effectively.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a crazy rule, especially if you're playing on like these really fast lawns. The ball's, zipping over towards corner 3 and slowing down and rolling and getting ready to stop. Who cares when you're over in corner 1 still?
Yeah. So this is a short shot.
And with Solomon.
But he's gone with power.
It's a short shot, but he wants to get off the boundary.
Right. Really good shot, that. He's moved black all the way up to hoop 2, and he's taken control of that west boundary again.
It's really good to just remember about that importance to get off the boundary. Yeah, because Robbie's such a good shot. That blue could easily ping a ball that's in a couple of yards up to corner 2.
Yeah. So, Matthew got away with a sort of 13-yard clearance, didn't he? But he's put an extra 7 or 8 yards onto Robbie's clearance here. It's a good 20-yarder. And if these guys start hitting like this could be a long match.
It really could be. Sometimes you just look at the hoops and how is anyone going to get close to a hoop to have a go at it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here in my long trousers and I'm starting to get really hot. Jenny's got her shorts on. This must be 4 degrees warmer than any other day at this stage.
Yeah, Jenny's getting a wee bit sunburnt here. That'd be right. But I mean, you look at that and you go, how are they going to get close to the hoop because the clearing's so good? You want to have shots on target. You want shots at the hoops. But from 7 yards, these hoops are just fighting back.
And this will be the same from Robbie, won't it? All these balls within clearing range, you won't feel that taking position is the right thing to do. And almost the opposite to what we saw yesterday from Fulford.
Yes.
Fulford is taking position, not necessarily dead straight in front, maybe slightly angled on one side, and he's forcing his opponent to keep clearing him. There we go, 1-0.
Lovely hoop stroke.
So I think this is, from a spectating viewpoint, it's going to be far more fun.
Oh, it's going to be a fabulous match, yeah.
There's going to be a lot more clearing, and there's going to be a lot more longer range hoops.
It's going to be a little bit faster.
And it's going to be less tactical.
Yeah.
But a lot more physical.
What a fabulous positional shot that was, though. Really nice touch play.
I still think we'll see Robbie play the first ball in here. Blue's not that far away. It must have about a 17-yarder or something like that on red. And you're just hoping black doesn't block it, and it hasn't. It's gone west of the line of blue and red. And Matthew trying to close that and block blue at red. And he's very close, I think. He's just drifted a bit on.
He might have blocked blue at the hoop, though. So, second prize.
And, well, third prize, I'd almost say first prize. Yellow's in good hoop running position, so that if blue hits red, red can clear black.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It's very hard to get to stay in front of the hoop.
In the middle. I think we'll see, Fulford yesterday was playing balls in here, wasn't he? Red back in front, trying to block black at the hoop, saying, if I don't, okay, you take on your 2.5 yard, 3 yard hoop. No, I don't think Matthew's going to do that. I think this is going to be power.
Well, I think these guys are better hoop runners than Akhmed was yesterday.
Yeah.
And better and more powerful shots than Robert was.
Yeah.
So it's just a different game.
Yeah. Half ball, and he's still moved it past hoop 4, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Is it in hoop 4? No.
But it might be wide by hoop 4. It's drifted a little bit. I don't think so.
No, it's gone left, so it's definitely open.
Quite a lot of these hoop points might be built on a bit of luck in the end as well. You clear a ball as it wired.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's that quality, first player hits 15 yard, the second player hits 10 yard return back. We didn't see much of that in the Fulford game yesterday, did we?
No. And obviously the speed of the lawns is facilitating this, but hitting a half ball and it just going miles.
Ooh, that was close.
He was looking at that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in the Fulford Bamford final, there's no clips being used.
No, there aren't. There haven't been from yesterday. The scoreboards have been in use.
The scoreboard's actually in a good position. It's one all over there.
So I'm a bit surprised these two players are using clips.
It's so much better using clips. It means that the spectators, no matter where they're positioned, can see. If you're a long way away, you can have a quick glance and see what's going on. And they've also got decent clips. They've got really contrasting colours.
And this is the start I wanted to this match. Both players now 1-all. They've both hit good clearances. It's going to be an absolute treat, this match. Fractionally short there with blue from Robbie.
Yeah, and he didn't really get position at hoop 1, so the positional play, just a few more marks to Matthew at the moment. That shot up to hoop 2 was fabulous.
It was indeed, yeah.
And I thought Matthew looked pretty good in the warm-up, but Robbie will warm up quickly.
Back to Irish grip for his touch shot. And he's making sure he's deep of the blue. So blue can't clear the red very far at all. Don't want to be within a yard of blue, because then you open up the snuggles. And the snuggle at the start of the week was quite an easy shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, not up here. It's the fast bit of the lawn.
Yeah, now it's really quite challenging as a snuggle. And again, as Jenny highlighted, Robbie hasn't got the touch yet.
I think that might have been a nudge. I think he might have been trying to roll onto blue there. I don't know though.
Our golden rule is if you're going to try and play the nudge, your ball has to still finish in hoop running position if it misses.
Yeah, and it did go quite a long way from it, so I'm possibly wrong. He might have just been getting position.
Matthew felt the need to move blue there.
Don't blame him.
This
Although-
is not an easy hoop. We didn't see many of these run yesterday, did we?
No, Robbie is a brilliant hoop runner, but these hoops are fighting back.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fabulous. That's fabulous.
He's good, isn't he?
That's what he was doing against JP Mobley, and that is really classy.
But both these players running the hoops, it is not an all-out thrash. It is a firm, controlled stroke with a very still body. It's great.
It is, and I think you read me a post from Salah Hazam in the car on the way in this morning, and it said how good it was that all four of these players who've made the semi-finals were acknowledging good shots from their opponent.
Oh, yeah, it was a really nice post. And it's true, they're really, really nice players, these guys.
So Matthew, first thing he said as soon as Robbie ran that was shot.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the sportsmanship of this game, isn't it? You're absolutely trying your best, but you're acknowledging good play from the opponent.
Yeah. So this is sort of one of these slightly random positions. Blue on red. It's about 5-yarder. Now, obviously, if you're really good, you hit it in the middle.
Yeah.
If you're like me and you sometimes don't quite get it where you want, well, you could rush it through the hoop, or you could rush it onto black.
If you're Robbie, you might be trying to rush it somewhere wide.
And there,
Very
again, that little bit of luck. You know, he's hit it marginally off centre,
Yeah.
and it's followed through and flicked the black to potentially non-running position.
Well, the interesting question is, do you fancy running the hoop with yellow? Are you going all out smashing black?
It is. It is. In this case, the answer should be no, because red's got easy wide position from blue.
And he's taking that. He's looking for that wire.
And you know, I think if blue was to the side of the hoop, threatening the area, Matthew might play red at black.
Or if we had the hoops from the British Open, where you're just running it with yellow.
Yeah, and
not
it's
today.
so much more interesting a game now, isn't it?
That's great.
It was so one-dimensional with easy hoops. You've got more tactical options now. And Robbie's taking on what is an unbelievably difficult hoop here.
Well, yeah, then you've got one of the best hoop runners in the world.
And the reason is that blue can't clear red.
He's got no choice. Yeah, red's going to have a shot at the hoop.
Yeah.
Or yellow.
So he's either got to clear red and let yellow have a go from distance, or I don't know whether he's trying for the jaws here or whether he's going full out for a smash.
I think you can go for the jaws. I just think these hoops ping too much.
Right, so you go for the jaws, and he's
Just
lovely
go
shot.
for the jaws and get it. Excellent. Although red's got a jump.
And
And yellow's got a jump.
are you surprised here that he's taking it with yellow instead of red?
Yes, very.
And can you explain to the viewers why you think red's better?
It's just straighter. You're much more likely to just be able to go for height. Beautiful shot.
Fantastic shot.
And not only that, red is guaranteed to have a shot. And if red runs the hoop, black's going nowhere.
That's the point I wanted to make. Now, Robbie has first play at hoop 5. Imagine if red had played the jump shot, black can't get anywhere near hoop 5.
Yeah.
So it's worth an extra half a point playing it with red, isn't it?
I think it was. I think he could have done some interesting things. Well, I'll probably actually just play to halfway.
Again, this is the immediate clearance. Standard Egyptian play.
Okay, I don't like that because of black's position. I thought that yellow's justified jumping the hoop if you're going, I'm a really good shot, I'm taking position with red, I'm clearing with yellow.
I think the opposite. Because black can't get to the hoop, playing that central clearance with red puts you in a massively strong position.
Yeah, and it's good having the central clearance, but he's shooting really, really well. Why not either take the jump with red or use yellow for the clearance? There's a couple of different lines of play. Either way, it was a really good jump shot at hoop 4 to go to.
Absolutely.
And another one of these really nice touch positional shots.
And I think from watching the entire tournament, I'd say Robbie's quite good at jump shots.
Yes.
And I'd say Matthew's better.
Robbie was saying his jump shots weren't going that well, but he's got just oodles of power, and he's got the AC players angled jump shots as well, which Matthew's got too.
Yeah. No, I think Matthew's excellent at all types of jump shot, from range, from short, from straight, from angled.
Yeah, he could put on quite an exhibition at the McRobinson Shield later this year.
Yeah. And I like this choice of shot. That's clearing the ball that's played before you.
Yep.
And it's keeping control of the hoop. It's saying, hey, Robbie, if you miss one of these 5-6 yarders, well, not miss, I'm talking about quarter ball.
Yeah, if you feather it, you're further away, you just develop the hoop.
Correct. And again, you want to hit that mid-pace to make sure that your ball stays near.
Bobbled a wee bit as well, I felt.
It did.
His lawns have been pretty smooth, though.
That's poor. Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, he's leaving a clearance for black, hitting it in the middle, which will leave black in front of the hoop. Possibly with a 3 or 4 yarder, but it will be in front.
Yeah, so when you're in this position, you're always trying to take position either straight or fractionally on the opposite side to the enemy ball that's going to clear you.
Lovely shot from Robbie.
And this is going to be another centre ball clearance on the blue, clearing the ball that plays before you.
Just wait until someone blinks a bit.
Correct.
Doesn't get a good contact. And red's gone a lot further than he'd have hoped, but still close.
And these were the sort of exchanges we were seeing in the Fulford Naz yesterday, these mid-pace clearances. So fascinating to see that even these two need to be able to play that type of game as well at times.
And I said the other day, this is what Duncan Dixon's fabulous at.
Yep.
Oh, and he blinked. It's about a quarter ball clearance.
Yeah, it's not dreadful because he's got the south boundary.
Yeah.
So if things go completely wrong and he ends up 2 balls down at the hoop, he's always going to have the chance of black at the hoop, probably. Yes. Matthew might have got the block there. That looks like a really good positional shot, and blue's going to have to clear this, isn't it?
I think it's a double. I'm going to go and have a look.
You think black's got a double? Okay. So, Robbie trying to take position behind the yellow ball so red can't see it. Jenny's gone to have a look at what sort of target black's got. And red will clear blue if it's open on it. And it looks like he is. So, lovely central clearance again, keeping red within 7 yards of the hoop.
Oh, it's a very juicy target.
Juicy double.
Yep, you can snick yellow and go through. You can miss yellow and go through.
Can you hit the left-hand wire of the hoop?
Yes.
You can.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so it's not a perfect double.
No, you can also fail the hoop off the left-hand wire.
Right.
What are you aiming at here, Chris? Are you going for the ball or the hoop?
I miss on the right, so I'm aiming at the ball.
He's unlucky there. I go for the hoop with doubles. I like shooting at the hoop.
You don't have a standard miss though. You miss on both sides equally.
Oh no, it depends on the day. Sometimes there is a distinct miss to the left.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just if I play a perfect shot, I fancy being through the hoop. As it is, yeah, we've just seen a bit of that's part of the luck of the game. He's hit yellow, but you know, it should be 3-2 to Matthew after this shot.
Yeah, my preferred double is having the hoop on the left and the ball on the right, so I can go for the hoop.
Yeah.
And if I play a good shot, I run it, and if I don't play a good shot, I hit the ball.
It is really important to be aware of your miss and how to aim.
So, not an easy hoop.
No, it's fairly straight though. Oh goodness, near wire.
I wasn't sure where that hit, but it was certainly a long way away from the middle of the hoop, though.
The speed of the lawns and the firmness of the hoops really does exaggerate the a miss. you know, if you've got floppier hoops, it just kind of sogs off to the side, but this really pings away and, you know, and screams you missed this.
Yeah, it's been great fun these last few days since the knockout started. You know, really, you know, good conditions to play under, and we've seen some great matches. Shall we try and get an update on the other semi-final?
It's 2-1 to Robert. And we've got Reg for the jump.
Robert won the toss playing black and blue.
2-1 to Bamford, is it? Sorry. Oh, excellent. Okay. Sorry, got you completely wrong there.
Okay, 2-1 to Reg, who is black and blue.
The names are just a little bit small and a wee bit hard to see, but it did look like Reg was lining up the yellow. I think he's jumping with black. He's got blue in front of the hoop.
Now he needs to cut this to corner 4, really, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely, lovely shot. That is so good. We've had good crowds in the afternoon, haven't we? We've probably had 60 or 70 people here.
Oh yeah, you bring your own chair and don't leave it without someone protecting it. It's been quite popular. A couple of rows deep, maybe 3 rows deep under the trees.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. So blue at red. Black's in good hoop running position.
Black's also at risk here. Yeah, if you miss red, you could end up clearing partner and just making it easy.
And, you know, when you get these top quality matches, just occasionally you end up with fantastic battles at 5, 6, 11 and 12, where just shot after shot at 15, 16 yards keeps getting hit.
And it's very hard to pick between these two players. They're both fabulous players, playing really well.
In the Shield final, JP Mobley 6-2 up in the first game.
Yeah,
against you.
Ran about a 10 or more yard hoop 8.
Very
Looked
good.
Really assured and comfortable.
Very good.
And their hoops will be a bit firmer. They were reset very well today.
Close again.
I mean, the other thing we've spoken about in the past a wee bit is getting this really good, really tight hoop position. Just gives you that extra sort of fraction of percent of rush peeling, or when they're trying to clear, like when Robbie was clearing yellow, rushing it onto the wire and leaving the opponent's ball near the hoop.
Yep. And equally gives you the chance to run it with control up to the next. And Matthew's been a bit unlucky there. It's come out quite wide, hasn't it? Because he hit it at a good pace.
Yeah, I mean, the hoops have been a really good width. They've been really well set this week.
Yep.
But we've seen the ball ping out. Yeah, we saw someone run, what was it, hoop 4 into corner 3, hoop 9 into corner 3.
Yeah. So again, Robbie doing the sort of standard thing there, taking hoop position, but on the opposite side to the red ball. And if yellow plays in well here, red should be able to clear that black.
So yeah, you can see they're still taking position. They're still going close enough that they will be cleared, but they're just, spending a bit of time in the hoop to create a position.
Trying to play blue between red and the black here. Got quite a nice line to play it down, and just over hit it fractionally and got it down the wrong line. Actually quite a good pace he's hit it at, isn't it?
Apparently Stephen Mulliner drove Blake Fields mad for a bit yesterday, just taking blocking position from 20 yards over and over. It's a fantastic skill to have.
And important that these younger players appreciate the importance of good positional play and blocking.
Yeah.
It's not all about hitting.
Meanwhile, up on lawn 3, there's the one of the bowl semi-finals, which is a bit of a game of hitting.
Yeah. Ewan Burridge playing Kareem Gamry. I think Ewan's 4-3 up in the first game. No, I may be wrong about that.
I don't
Might be
think you're correct.
4-3 the other way, mightn't it?
Yeah, they've exchanged hoops pretty much on the way round.
And no scoreboard on that lawn, so just a bit too far away to definitely see hoop 2 and whether there's 2 blue or a blue and a red.
Can't really see. Oh, my man with binoculars.
Oh, super clearance. That was from near corner 2, and he's got rid of that yellow. I don't think blue's runnable, so I think Matthew's going to play back in here.
Yeah, thanks, Jack, for that. It is definitely 4-3 to Kareem Gamry.
Okay. So great clearance from Robbie while you're away. Saying this blue, I'm not convinced is in front.
It's jumpable though.
Is it? So he's clearing because it's jumpable.
It's a miss. That's his first miss.
No, he's missed a couple, but you know, he's just starting to hit a few. He seems to have been better shooting Irish grip so far.
Interesting.
Oh, it's much straighter than I thought it was. Much straighter. That's a really good positional shot from the side boundary to try and get the block and still remain in position. Excellent. So 3-3. Living up to its early promise.
Yeah.
Reddy's onside.
I think some of our camera coverage, the cameras up there, doesn't catch sort of this corner 3 area.
Okay. So he's played quite deep position there, Jenny. Why has he done that?
Trying to protect himself from being cleared by blue.
So by playing deeper, it means it's much more difficult for blue to cut the red further south and potentially into a wide position.
Yeah, and the power of these players, they can get it a long way down the lawn if they're given a bit of an angle for that.
Because I know some people might have played red off the boundary to stop blue clearing it entirely and just got nice straight hoop position.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that it just overran a bit. I mean, that was not intended. That black was not supposed to be off the boundary. You can just see from Robbie's body language.
And yellow here will be a standard ball, what, 2 yards deep?
Yeah, but it's going to run.
It's a good shot.
That corner's quick.
Yeah, this is lovely.
It's taken an extra 4 feet of run there from what it looked like it was going to do.
Yeah.
Wrong
So
side.
clearing that red. And red, I think red won't bother with black. Red will go close into the hoop here.
I think he'll be disappointed that he's got the wrong side of that.
Yep. Is Robbie going to take his hoop on here?
I
think he will do. Great
Shot.
hoop. And again, walking the viewers through the concept is that even if black fails, blue can clear the red, and black's going to bounce away somewhere within a few yards.
Yeah, Robbie's good enough. He will hit the hoop from 7 yards. And equally, it was going to be a long time before Robbie got another shot at the hoop.
Yeah.
You've got to give yourself chances to make points.
Nice positional shot, but it's open on black.
Interesting, Rob was talking about when he was clearing, so when he'd sort of clear half ball so that he took the side boundary, he was thinking about making those cuts a little bit finer yesterday to make it more difficult for his opponent to take positions that were wired from Rob.
And that's Rob Fulford we're talking
Sorry, that's
about.
Rob Fulford,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah. He just, his thinking and his tactical play just adds an extra level each time he comes to one of these competitions.
And has that gone too far? I think it has.
It's the first one that hasn't actually got in front from Matthew, I think.
Earlier on in the tournament, you were almost able to play down from 7 to 8 or 3 to 4, and you had to think about having to hit it so much harder because it was so furry down in that area.
Yeah.
And I don't think the players have quite got the hang of the fact that actually it's not that bad anymore down that southern end of the lawn.
Yeah, I reckon they gave him quite a shave yesterday.
So, black can clear yellow, but he'll be worried that if he does so, he might clear blue as well.
And he could get really unlucky and just nail it onto blue, and yellow will stay where it is.
Equally, 4-3 up. If things go wrong, black finishes in corner 2. Really bad place for hoop 9. So, you could clear yellow, or you could be very neutral about this and play black between yellow and the hoop, trying to block it.
I'm not 100% sure yellow's running the hoop. Is blue in its backswing?
I think it might be psychologically hampering him, but I think he does have an open shot.
Right, he is pretty strong.
I'm still going to take position here.
He's just checking his phone.
4-3 up.
So I suspect Matthew's probably quite a super fast player, given the fact he paused for a wee phone check to just, you know, not have to stand there and wait for so long.
And technically, is that legal?
I have no issue with it. He's probably just looking at messages from home or something.
I'm sure he
he's
is.
Not getting advice.
No, but
yeah, look at this.
I don't think red's in position. So
No.
I think this is going to be clearing blue to take position with yellow and then allowing red to clear the black.
Absolutely, but yeah, it did show that he wasn't really thinking of taking the hoop on, which is why black played in.
Again, it's not a strong position for black and blue here, is it?
No.
He's actually shooting
taking
here.
the hoop on, is he?
Is it a double?
It's a double. It's absolutely the shot to take.
But yeah, this is definitely Robbie shooting.
It's a single. What's he going for?
The hoop, I think. Yeah, that was the hoop, I think.
Bobbled a bit on the way again. I think he probably called it a bit bottomy mallet from the sound
Yeah,
of
it
that.
didn't sound like the purest of contacts.
And he'll get another shot with black very soon.
So, Shield final, JP won the first 7-2. And Stu's gone 1-0 up in the second game.
And Ewan was attempting to run hoop 10 with a jump shot from hoop 9, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think this will be Gumry going 5-3 up.
6-4 up, I think.
6-4 up, sorry, you're absolutely right.
Again, power trying to get yellow or the hoop, and he's missed both. And now a longish 3-yard straight hoop to try and tie it up at 4-all.
Still very fallible with these hoops, but he is straight and he has got a very nice hoop stroke. And Irish again.
Lovely straight through.
I'm not sure how long that Solomon grip's going to be a part of Matthew's repertoire. He looks so good playing Irish.
He does indeed. So this has been the weak part of Robbie's game.
Yeah, hoop 9's so critical. Oh, was he short?
Runnable, but not great.
Yeah. Yeah, hoop 1, hoop 3, hoop 9. Really quite important hoops, because you can have, at those odd numbers hoops, the sort of 2-point change.
I think Matthew will play deep with the first ball near the south boundary,
And I think he might have a go at the second ball.
and then he'll
Blue.
shoot with the second ball. Yeah. And the question is black going to try and block yellow? Quite close. It's only about a yard away.
Not going deep. Not going front.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll stop the shot, I think.
No, I think it's 2 feet behind it.
Okay.
So Robbie playing another ball in, and here he might play this nudge that we spoke about before.
Yeah, he's played for it.
Overhit it again. You just got to play it with that extra foot of pace rather than yard of pace.
Yeah, I mean, once you hit blue, it is going to ping quite away. You don't really need black to be that hard. Although black may run.
Back to Solomon. Lovely hit. That's moved it about as far away as he could do.
I just feel his technique looks a little bit more fragile, Solomon, with that big backswing.
I like big backswings because it's not thrashy. It's smooth.
It is smooth. It's just that backswing doesn't look like it's necessarily going to be as consistent and perfect. I just think there's this Irish style. He looks so good.
A good clearance, but on the wrong side. So he wants to be clearing that on the left to take the short boundary himself and move Matthew further away. And I think Matthew won't be able to resist having a go here. Back to Irish. Jenny's preferred option. And I'm a big fan of the Irish grip as well. Generates that flatter swing plane. Nope.
Middle of the wire. It's just the swing looks so consistent and so fluid going backwards and forwards with the Irish grip. But I mean, obviously he's got an effortless way to generate power with the Solomon grip, so good on him.
Yeah. So Robbie looking at another 45 plus degree hoop that he's trying to potentially jaws. And he's opted for the clearing the ball that's just played before him.
Yep, and we'll see him smash black off that short boundary.
See, I'm not sure we will. Two options. You either move red all the way to corner 3, taking it off the boundary. And that's a sort of nothing shot.
It's neither, yeah.
I think Matthew likes being in front of hoops.
Well, and it gives black a foot shorter.
Yeah, it's not really that important, is it? I think, given that Rob could have taken that up to corner 3, that extra distance is valuable.
I fancy taking it up to corner 3. It just makes it that little bit harder to get red in front of the hoop.
Yeah, quite a lot harder.
In the Shield semi-final.
This is a good shot. Good shot. Johnny, just go pop around the corner and see if yellow can run the hoop. Matthew looking at really a quarter or a third of the ball here with red. It's a really tough clearance, but if it's blocked on the hoop, it might be legitimate. I'm going to play into position. Yellows.
Sorry, dear. Yellow's got a perfect target.
Perfect target.
It's not going to hit the left-hand wire.
Okay. So, poor shot from Matthew, failing to get red in front. You really do want to force black to clear red.
Yes.
You know, but red to 2 foot, 3 foot position, not blocking yellow at blue.
Is yellow on the lawn? That's a really important question.
Yellow, I think, is on the lawn.
Right,
I think Robbie's aiming up this left-hand side of it to try and take that double target out of play.
Or maybe just have a wee snuggle. But yeah, I think hitting any of yellow's really, really strong. because yellow is just running the hoop from here. Well, it's not a shot.
So you were mentioning that bowl game.
Yeah.
I think Kareem's taken the first game, 7-5.
That's correct, yes.
You're right, I hadn't found that, Jenny. I really thought, as you said, moving it anywhere was going to be good. And playing that incredibly difficult touch shot from 8 yards away.
You were right, moving it was the better play.
And Matthew, I think, will be disappointed with that.
Yeah, I mean, people often say it's second prize, but it's a bad second prize. Yellow's wired from everything. Red's going to have to clear blue. Black will have a shot at the hoop.
Black will have a shot at the hoop, won't it?
I just fancy Robbie just shooting hard at yellow. I didn't think you could open up the other side by snicking it.
Right.
But obviously, if you get the snuggle, that's a big win. One thing that's going to be very interesting for the future, Salah Hassan's down there in corner 1 watching.
Yep.
He's coaching a lot of the top Egyptian players now, and they'll take a lot of this away, I think. Although obviously the Egyptians are tactically very, very solid. I think Salah might be a coach of Kareem as well.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. I think he does Mo and Kareem and and Yasser Syed. So Robert can just take wide position here. Quite a straightforward shot, big wide area from yellow, and he's saying, okay, red can go and clear me from 15 yards away, and I'm still probably going to be favourite. But at hoop 9, at 4-all, there's that little voice in your head saying, shoot at the hoop.
I'd like to see that voice say, take position, good lad.
Good. This is clearly better against most opponents, and he's hilled so yellow can clear it, and yellow will just hit this hard, won't it?
Yeah, you still got the backup of the shot with blue. I think taking position with black, he's just played a slightly poor shot that's had a bit of extra roll as well.
So we both like the tactic, and the final result a bit disappointing. It's a good shot, and now we're far more into a genuine free go now, aren't we? Because yellow's very close, and he will take this on.
Yep. Yeah, and he's had that extra bit of play trying to get a nice wide position with black. Hasn't worked out. Still got this free go with blue. But thinking through his options.
Good. But we both want the hoop here now.
Yeah.
Ran a good hoop 7, didn't he?
Robert, yes.
And 3.
I think 3 was the really brilliant shot, wasn't it? It was the angled shot.
Angled, yeah.
Firmly.
And met our criteria, hit the middle of the wire, stayed close. But if red takes position here, I think black will have to clear it. Because yellow's got this northwards clearance on blue.
Good shot.
It's a good shot.
A little bit short, but
And
ideal.
I think he's taking the hoop on again.
Reasonable.
Um,
Trouble is, if you fail this hoop, you're going to be wide from red with your next shot.
potentially.
But that does fulfill my category of having a go at winning the point.
Yep.
Oh, well, it would have gone through a lot of hoops.
So now Matthew needs to move yellow in a little bit, make sure his backswing isn't hampered by the netting and the PSI irrigation sign. And then
Hey, Solomon's going to have to move it in a long way.
if he hits it in the middle, it's going to be wide, isn't it?
Yes.
If he hits it on the right, it's going to be on the north boundary.
If he hits it on the left, it might be wide, but it could leave a bit of red. Good shot.
No, that's moved. Still rolling. Good roll. I mean, these balls really are travelling this morning.
Yeah, it's going to get near the north boundary. It's obviously open, but it's got distance. It's one of your criteria for clearing. Rather good to see Stu Smith fighting back against JP in the second.
4-3 to Stu.
Yeah, and the shield final.
Looking at it. No. So, can he run it? And can he run it up to 10 as a second element of the stroke? I think he'll play Irish, won't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this one, Reg would be pounding off the north boundary.
Okay.
Speaking of Reg,
5-3 up, is he?
I believe so. Yes. And
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
I think it's
Where's this going?
He's going to lose
Where's
it.
this going? Oh, very
Really,
close.
really nice hoop shot. I have found very few balls have ended up in the jaws or, you know, just bouncing or running through.
Yeah. So Rob will try and take wide position from this red ball.
Looks good, but it's still going.
It's quite close, isn't it? Let's go and have a look at that. Jenny gonna go and have a look and find. I think Matthew's had a look at it and said good shot. So I think yellow's going to shoot at black here. Great shot, super shot. So that shot indicated red couldn't hit the black, and yellow's taken its chance and cleared it.
It did look wide from the position I got to.
Yeah. So Robbie needs to play the same shot again. Blue up into position, wide from red. And just think how difficult that is. I mean, you know, obviously it looks bad having finished there. Matthew taking a really intelligent line. It's not just clearing the blue. He's looking at where his striker's ball needs to finish to be wide from the black. Great shot. And having that back ball control is something that I'm sort of obsessed with. It's, you know, that the top players have back ball control. It might have rolled half a ball too far, so Robert might have an edge of it. But no, all he's got is a play in, hope for a bit of hill. At least put that pressure on red's hoop, and he's going to have a shot with blue at red before red gets a go at it.
This kind of shows you the difference between absolute top level play that we're seeing here and even sort of national level play. They're always looking for the extra bit of percentage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've got the back ball control. They're going and having a look. Where can I get a wiring? Which side of the hoop should I be just moving a couple of inches to? And taking that extra bit of care and having that extra bit of thought about where's the extra small advantage I can get is a big difference between good players and great players.
That missed by a little way, didn't it?
It's missed quite a few long shots today.
Yeah. But there's still pressure on this because black's in front.
Evidently quite a lot of pressure.
Indicates surely that blue is wide from yellow.
Yes, not happy with that though. Yellow's fully in play. Sorry, red's fully in play behind yellow. That was careless.
Sun cream in the drink. And that's that sort of quarter ball contact we've been talking about, where Robbie's lost control of the black ball. It's almost gone all the way to the west boundary. So Matthew won't need to do anything more than just take good position. And Robbie's got to do a lot of hitting to get back into this. No, good shot there. Good shot. Gives black the chance to hit yellow. Even then, yellow's going to have a clearance on blue. So weak position. Oh, this is interesting. Red clearing blue, potentially to get in front of 11. Oh, that's bad. So blue's now got close position in front of 11. And red could have come off at a slightly thicker angle and hit yellow. Jenny's just popped off to get some more sun cream because we're getting toasted out here this morning. So big shot. Don't want to be 6-4 down. Just missed by quarter ball on the left hand side.
The jaws.
So Jack Good, who's doing your scoreboard for the morning, was just asking, would I try for the jaws here? And the reason he's asking that is blue's so close to hoop 11. And if you play the jaws, blue has to basically come back on side. I just think black's not very good. So with black on the boundary, Matthew knows that red can take position and yellow's going to get this clearance. And I think he's quite comfortable with that line of play. Whereas if he allows another rotation, black could potentially have cleared red. Jenny mentioned earlier in the match how fast and slick it was around hoop 6, and you've just seen red overplayed by 4 or 5 feet there, finishing on the wrong side, and now big advantage here to Robbie, and to such an extent that I'm going to take the hoop on with yellow here. I'm assuming red can't hit black. So now he's cleared the blue, so that does indicate that red can do something with black. Obviously yellow's gone miles down to the south boundary, and just a positional test now. Need to keep playing back into position without leaving Matthew any sort of double clearance. That's a good shot. Back in front again. Now what's Matthew got? I think he's just nudging back. Now he's going to... It looks like he's open on black. That explains why yellow shot. I think we're going to see... Well, there are lots of options here. Certainly going halfway, trying to block yellow at blue is valid. Simply because Robbie's 6-4 down and he needs to win the last 3 hoops. So that sort of more aggressive line is a completely valid line. Just keeping the pressure on, knowing that if Matthew hits blue, he might hit it to a position where blue has an easy clearance on red. And additionally, putting black slightly straighter in front of the hoop compared to blue maximises Robert's chances of running 11 all the way down to 12. Doesn't like that. Hit the hoop. So this isn't as straight as black's hoop shot. What's he going to do? You really don't want to run this by a couple of feet. Stu Smith 6-3 up in the second against JP. Game down. And where's that finished?
Oh, that looks like it might be a good fail. So we've got a forfeit and a wee bit of strife at 6-4 down against Reg, but Reg has just missed and he's basically got a ball an inch in front of hoop 11.
So 2 things about that. First, it indicates blue may not be runnable, but secondly, yellow has the most beautiful target. Hoop and ball. Looks like the in-off may be playable. Quarter ball on the left on blue. Yeah, Matthew's gone to quite an acute angle looking at blue there.
Yeah, blue's quite close. It is lined up just outside that far wire. And many thanks to Alison Warm for a round of drinks because it is getting really hot here. The sun's baking. Shot.
Oh, yeah. Always looked tasty that in-off, didn't it?
Yep. Yep,
So,
well played.
Game 1 to Matthew, 7-4.
Oh, looks like Stu might have picked up his game there.
Yep, no, it's game all in the Shield final. Quite a comfortable win. I think it was 7-3.
Yep, so JP's nemesis continues. I caught up with Kevin Ham on the way to get drinks, and he stated that he is an inactive referee, so he's a referee on call.
Okay, and Kevin's covering the other semi, is he?
Sorry, he's covering the Shield
The
final.
Shield
So
final.
there is a chance that the semis have got referees in charge. I would hope not. You know, it should really be about the players calling a referee if they feel they need one.
Yeah.
But otherwise, being allowed to get on with things. In Australia, for AC, they came up with the concept of supervising referees, which is a thing that was new to me, where basically they've got several lawns they're in charge of, and they're allowed to waltz onto the lawn whenever they fancy. And I think the Egyptians have been quite uncomfortable with, well, just with various things that have come up with the rules. I don't think they'd have enjoyed having a referee wandering onto the lawn uninvited. But yeah, they've been much more sensible here. Oh, Ewan 2-0 up in the second game of the bowl semi-final. but Kareem just about to equalise, or to get to 2-1. And probably take control of hoop 4. Pretty good shot. Do you think Blues ended up in front of hoop 4?
No, I think it's probably a little bit too angled, but at very good pace. Matthew applying some lip balm. It really is toasty today. Much hotter. Flag's just limp. So Robert's going to be happy with these playing conditions.
Yeah, but there's power needed by Robert, isn't it?
Yeah.
That'll suit him really well.
Lawn speeding up so he doesn't have to hit it as hard. Can afford to just hit those mid-pacers and get an extra 3 or 4 yards out of them.
His wrist seems to be holding up really well. I don't really think he's hampered at all.
He's been icing it after play each day. So Reg 6-5 up and probably a little bit of control at 12. You have to say Reg is probably slight favourite at 12.
Oh, only slight. Well, the question is, does Black run the hoop? It's quite close to 12.
I don't think it does, but it's still got control of the area.
Yellow's got a clearance on Black, about a 3-yard pointing at corner 3.
Well, Black can be moved before Yellow plays, you have to say.
Indeed, yeah.
And Rob's played a gentle wibble from about 18 yards away, shifting this Black.
Suggests the Black was runnable, doesn't it?
The round of applause from the crowd certainly suggested that. So we're off again in our feature match. Matthew Essick game up against Robbie Fletcher, and that's a much better effort by Robbie compared to the first game, isn't it?
Oh, it's just dead in front. It's a great shot, yeah.
So Matthew immediately going to Solomon, and I think he's going to have 2 goes at this.
Yeah. I mean, it might have a slight angle, but he's running that every day. So is Matthew a coaching pro as well?
I didn't think he was. It's a good question, though. There are, what, 4 or 5 coaching pros around America.
Because having totally mastered 2 different techniques would be enormously strong as a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, we can obviously demonstrate all 3 grips, but can't always run hoops and do decent clearances with all 3, where I suspect Matthew, if he tried standard, would be technically solid as well.
Yeah, I was explaining to one of the players the other day that I have no ability whatsoever left-handed. I can't play the game left-handed. And that you'd managed to get to sort of women's world number 1 one-handed, and then had a little bit of a wrist injury, swapped to play the other hand, went all the way down the rankings, and then the following year went all the way back up to number 1 again. Certainly something I wouldn't be able to do if my right wrist went.
I am going to claim to be the only player to have won national titles, both left-handed and right-handed. Although, I think Matthew can claim to have done it with 2 very different grips at the same time.
Interesting there. There's a fairly straightforward hoop by Robbie, but he didn't get enough clean contact and clean running to avoid just grovelling through by about 4 feet.
Do you think maybe hit down on it a little to not get that smooth rolling when it reached the hoop?
Possibly. I think it probably just didn't hit it straight enough.
Yeah, it could be the case too.
Oh,
he hates it.
Well, this is fast. That is a fast approach to a hoop. I mean, you mentioned earlier you thought the area around hoop 6 was quick.
Yep.
And Matthew demonstrated that by failing to take position at 11.
Yep.
I said to you before the match, I thought hoop 7 and hoop 2 looked faster.
Yeah, you got perfect position, like, under a foot in the first game, but it takes quite a lot of precision, and it's getting faster and faster.
Yeah, there's going to be 2 seconds different between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, isn't there?
What do you think of this black? I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I would rather take the western boundary side of hoop 2 and just live to fight another day.
Yeah, I mean, yellow's not good enough. Yellow's not close enough. But you can imagine if yellow got closer, you just having black off into corner 1.
Yeah, but look at this blue, Jenny. That is an attempt to get between yellow and the hoop.
Yeah.
And he's overhit it by 3 yards. That is the clearest we've seen so far about the speed of these lawns. Yeah, Robbie knows how to play on quick lawns.
Yeah.
He's got touch, and yet he's overhit by that by 3 yards.
Yeah, these balls just hit the quick patch and they just keep running.
So, are you going to feel the need to move yellow here, or are you going to play him?
Playing him. I'm still going to let him fail a hoop.
I agree. And I don't want to play in on top of yellow, giving it a stop shot clearance. That is really bad.
He's just not close enough.
So yellow can not only clear black, it can improve its hoop position. Which it has done.
Possibly to somewhere wide from blue, given how close they were. He had so much control over that.
Yeah, he hasn't done that. So I think Robbie will have a sensible clearance on yellow, clearing the ball that's just played before you. And then red will attempt to run it. Oh, no. Ooh.
Goodness.
Surprised by that.
Taking position, again, the extra bit, blocking red from the hoop.
My issue here, Jenny, is red just takes position.
Yes.
Robbie clears yellow, and then yellow clears blue to a distant boundary, potentially getting in front of hoop 3. I don't like that because yellow was all over that blue.
Yeah,
he's tried to move blue out of the way, getting the block on black at yellow. And I think he's a ball short. I just thought he could put a lot of pressure on Robbie there by taking, 1 foot straight position, 2 foot straight position, and then Robbie's forced to clear yellow. And yet Robbie could have had a really tough position in a couple of shots' time. Whereas I think this might let him back into the hoop.
That will be Rob clearing Reg to be dead in front of hoop 12. Probably leaving Reg in and off though, because yellow's very close to hoop 12. Or it's just leaving the hoop.
Reg's gone to the middle of the east boundary.
Yep.
But yeah, Reg has now got a shot to try and save hoop 12.
Well, and win the game.
And indeed, if he...
So it's up sort of levelish with hoop 6.
Reg has cleared yellow, mid-pace clearance, and Rob still has a slightly, very marginal advantage at the hoop.
Yeah, Reg has gone down to hoop 1, but those distances are fairly trivial.
So Robbie missed that yellow, and Matthews tried to just nudge blue 2 balls and has ended up hitting it 3 balls and has given an easy clearance on red to blue.
That's the first sign of real frustration from Matthew as well. He was annoyed not to get in front of hoop 2, but he was very annoyed with this shot not working.
Let's be honest, he had complete control at hoop 2.
Yes.
And without taking a hoop shot,
yeah,
he's lost control of the hoop.
And he had an opportunity for a hoop shot. He liked to have a shot at each hoop.
Yeah, I mean, we acknowledge that, if you play poor hoop shots, you're going to, let your opponent back into it. But here we've managed to play some non-hoop shots, and he's now got 2 balls the wrong side of hoop 2, and the hoop's completely swung, hasn't it?
Yeah.
One thing to note here from Robbie is that there is a big danger if he plays too far away from the hoop here, that yellow can rush red to wired position.
He's opened up an area there.
It's a big area has opened up here. I think a little quarter ball snick might move red into hoop running position wide from blue.
I mean, Robbie's got a lot of space to play a jump shot, but it would be strong getting red wide here behind black.
Yeah, looks good to me, that.
He looks interested. No, he's happy.
Is Rob moving his hands down? No? So he should be open on it if he's not moved his hands down, shouldn't he?
Standing quite close.
No, I think this
No,
is just the
got all of it.
clearance, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
all of it too.
Yeah.
I thought he got the block there. That's decent effort. So, scoreboard's a bit entertaining at the moment. It's listing 7447. So that's an endeavour to show that one game's finished, Matthew Essett winning 7-4. Maybe a little bit confusing for spectators though.
Yeah. So is Robbie going to ask for the hoop to be tapped down?
He is. I didn't think he'd even touched the hoop. Did he wander over to it before when I wasn't looking?
I don't remember hoop 2 having been hit. And Frances has tapped them all down between games, hasn't she?
Yep, it was run from 6 inches, 8 inches by Matthew in game 1. That's when red was dead in front. Robbie ran it from the boundary very smoothly at hoop 7.
And it's been tapped in again.
Yeah, I understood that there's an issue here. Francis's hoop banging in technique's got a bit firmer as the week's gone by. She's done a lot of work this week. Doing 4-2 up in the second game.
Great
Lovely.
hoop, great hoop. 2-0 to Robbie. Game down.
Lovely smooth hoop stroke again.
And red's onside, isn't it, over here by
Yes.
about 7 yards away from hoop 3.
After a fierce battle at hoop 1, Stu's got the first shot at hoop 1 in the Shield final decider.
Good shot from Matthew. So, Lawn 4, they're still battling at hoop 12. Been going on a good 10 minutes, hasn't it?
Well, if Rob can take position with yellow and clear, he's got a very good chance to get his ball reds on the south boundary behind hoop 4. If he clears well, he could get up to hoop 13 with the clearance shot.
He could.
Rob's gone too far.
So Robbie felt that yellow was sufficiently good. He needed to have 2 goes at it. And I can't blame him.
Okay.
Great shot.
Especially in the middle of the referee shouting.
And this is the sort of position where you wish, instead of trying to block Robbie's shot, you'd have just put red back straight in front of the hoop again.
Did look quite frustrated with that. He's moving around a little bit faster. Looking a little bit tense now. I think Matthew will just take a couple of breaths at some stage and reset himself though.
And Reg takes first game.
7-5.
And perhaps one thing we should point out at this stage is Reg has not lost a game in the event so far.
No, I think Richard Bilton's the only one who's actually taken them close. He had a 7-6 in their block play and a 7-5 in the knockout.
And that was about the same position that Robbie ran it nicely in game 1. And Matthews just bounced off to the side.
Do you not feel the hoop moved a very long way for something in new holes there?
Yeah, I think 2 and 3 are not firm.
I was saying that I thought Matthew looked a bit rattled.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Robert look a bit rattled? Robert Fletcher.
Ah, that's a good question. Rattled? No. But what I did notice was in the last AC Worlds at Canley, he looked much less confident.
Right.
He's normally striding across the lawn confidently, knowing that, you know, when he's hitting third turn, he's definitely going round. And he just looked to be struggling a bit with his game and knowing that he had the odd error in him.
Okay.
So that's what I noticed at Canley. Good shot from Ewan. No.
Yep. Fantastic shot from Ewan. 7-2.
So 7-2.
Good comeback.
One game all. And these Shield and Bold matches, they're best of 3, aren't they, Jenny?
They are, yes.
So both into the decider. This Stu v JP and Kareem v Ewan match.
Yep.
Again, Robbie deciding that's a free go.
The outside of the wire there. Spun around.
And this will be a little nudge in front, trying to block Black at the hoop. And he's left it open.
Is it?
I think that's open, Jem. What you might call a perfect double. This is my perfect double. The hoop on the left and the ball on the right.
Absolutely. Shot, Robbie.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Gorgeous shot.
So he's hit that red in the middle, following through into the front of the drawers. And I think Matthew can take it out with yellow.
Yes.
But he needs the perfect contact with power.
Yeah, otherwise it's just going to pop out 6 inches.
That was in the air as it went past it, but I don't think it was very close either.
I think it went south of the hoop, did it?
I think so, yes. And choices for Robbie here. He's 2-0 up. So
Going halfway here.
you see, if he was 2-0 down or 1-all, I'd go
Yeah.
halfway.
Yeah, I mean, red's got to hit something difficult.
I'm going to take hoop position.
It's reasonable. You go
Um,
halfway, it just looks bad. You get cleared.
because
It's 50-50 again.
if he misses it, you know Black can run it down to 4 anyway. So you're probably going to go 4-0 up. If he hits it, you might never get 3-0 up, never mind 4-0 up.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is overly aggressive to my mind.
Oh, but it's brilliant.
No, he's overhit it, I think. It's about a ball and a half too far. And I am definitely taking this. I think I can win hoop 3 if I hit this.
Right, you can't leave this for 3-0. Yeah, maybe if you're 2-1 up or 2-0 up.
Yeah, I think
Got it.
a good, lovely shot. Super shot. At 2-0 up, I think it's legitimate not to shoot at that. But that was a compulsory shot, and I don't like where this blue is again, I say.
Yeah, well,
When you're
you've been
2-0
proven
up,
right.
I want to make sure I'm getting 3-0 up.
And you know you're playing a really, really good shot. You know, you've seen how he's progressed through this tournament. Seeing quite a difference here on these two lawns. Lawn 1, the Shield final. Lawn 2, the semi-final. There's hoops being missed, short shots being missed.
There's a gulf.
Different level.
There's a gulf in ability. Lovely shot. So treated that as a free go again. He'll be absolutely relieved after that shot,
Yes, he will.
because not winning hoop 3 from where he got to would have been a crime.
Yep, he's done something a little bit reckless trying to play the block with blue. Well, you know,
Let's
not the
call it
best
aggressive.
percentage.
Let's call it aggressive.
A bit aggressive. But he's just gone and fixed it.
So 3-0 to Robbie game 2. Matthew won the first.
Not a lot marks for yellow, but he's given it distance. I think I'm playing in here with black. What do you reckon, Chris? Are you going to play in with black? Or is blue too good? Yes.
This is a good question, Jenny. I think I am definitely playing in with black.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the same distance clearance with blue on red, because yellow's just going to clear you.
And you can get better hoop position with black.
Unless he plays a snuggle and plays it well.
Unlucky to get the bobble and only get that oh, look where black's finished, Jen.
Very unlucky.
So it's in the front of the drawers of hoop 6.
I think black can play from front of hoop 5.
Yes, I agree. But can it get anywhere near hoop 4?
Yeah, I mean, he needs this to miss and he needs to run hoop 4 now.
Good shot. But once again, if Robbie hits back this 9-yarder, where this black ball can get to is going to become an issue. We know it can get to 5, but it's going to be a testing shot to get to 4, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to want a mid-pace clearance here and keep blue well in play.
And remember, as a preference, when you're taking up position at 4, you want to be on the short boundary side, the eastern side, and that's going to be the side that's more difficult to get to. Again, bobbly.
It is.
Is it Robert hitting down on it, or is it the lawn down there?
I don't remember seeing this happening yesterday.
Fair enough.
But yes, a couple of the Egyptians did sort of comment on how it was bouncing around a bit. Maybe they were hitting over it a wee bit. So red's back in, black's coming back in, blue's got a short clearance.
It's all about where this black is coming into.
Oh, of course, yes.
He's going to almost certainly need a referee.
Okay. Robbie got quite a harsh refereeing decision yesterday.
Yes.
Can you talk us through that?
Well, I think he was 1.5 inches away from from the wire of a hoop, and got called for a crush.
That was from the near wire as well. It was much further from the far wire.
And when we're coaching potential referees, we're always telling them, look, if you're more than 4 millimeters away from the hoop and you think it's a fault, call it as a double tap, because it's almost certainly going to be a double tap rather than a crush.
Yeah. Goodness, if it's 1.5 inches away, you're going to know if something bad's happened. If it's been a double tap, it will sound horrible.
And all these players today will be trying to stay fully hydrated.
Yep.
We're losing plenty of liquids in this heat. Robbie's got a separate challenge though, hasn't he?
Yeah. So Robbie's type 1 diabetic, and I believe he made the comment in his match against JP. It was getting darker, to be fair, but he got to a position he couldn't see very well and had to go and sort insulin out. Obviously, he's dealt with this all his life, so he knows to monitor how he's feeling.
Yeah, so often goes to his bag, and he's got, I think, a mobile phone that links to a chip in his arm, and it gives him his blood sugar levels. And he'll know whether he needs some sort of snack to boost those.
I hadn't spotted the chip in his arm. That's just a fabulous bit of technology.
I'm pretty sure that's what he's going for his phone for. Because you just sort of move it up to your arm and it tells you, are you 6.7 or whatever. And it was clear he was, taking on extra food
So
during that match.
when he had to do that during that match, it was during that period of absolutely immaculate play. He came back, he missed 2 shots, and then he was just back to being superb.
Good shot, hitting it on the left, taking that short boundary. We think black runs.
Yep.
But he's tough.
Yeah, it's got a bit of distance, wee bit of angle, and yeah, these hoops are fighting back. Blue's in quite a good position for when we go to hoop 5. He's played it there very well from the position he had.
So this is clearing with red.
Yes.
Solomon grip again. Clear indication that Matthew's wanting to focus on direction.
As a commentator, you're thrilled when the player just holds the mallet and goes and hitting it hard.
Nope. So big shot here for 4-0.
What's his percentage, do you reckon, today in this match with Solomon grip?
It's been low, hasn't it? It has been low.
Really quite low.
Yeah, we haven't quite seen the heights of hit
Not
that
yet.
I was expecting. But it is only game 2 of a best of 5. Interestingly, in the final of the Shield, our big underdog, Stu Smith, is 3-0 up in the deciding game.
Oh, come on, Stu. I don't mean any ill will to JP. He's a fabulous guy, but great for Stuart.
This is really difficult, Jenny.
It is. What's the angle? 45?
It is 45. That is a good call.
This is the man you want taking the shot, though, isn't it?
He's good. He is good.
Is there any player you'd sub in for him?
45 degrees. Well, you know, I mean, Reggie's obviously quite good, but, you know, he's very strong at those.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a dreadful effort.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of shot that would have definitely gone through the hoop 6 weeks ago.
Oh, yes.
And it's finished 5 yards away now.
Robbie's got a great understanding of hoops and his capabilities. I remember playing him at Roehampton years ago, and he just ran some thoroughly ridiculous hoops. And he just said, well, the conditions were such.
Yeah, absolutely. And here Matthew's not just failed an easy hoop. From the angle he's at, he's a much wider angle than Robbie's 45 degree.
Oh,
So it's clearly a lot more difficult. It's probably about 60. And I don't think he can run it.
with yellow. Oh, I thought it might be right in front now.
Well, Matthew's not far away from the angle he was actually looking at there.
Ah,
So
that's
it's
true.
much wider than 45 degrees. So,
Oh, definitely. He's just taking position there.
yeah, trying to get into jumping range, trying to force red to clear the blue, and hoping to get to a position where yellow can't clear blue. However, I think yellow can clear blue there. I think he wanted blue to be on the eastern side of the hoop.
Yeah, it looks like the wire is, you want it to be east.
So I would have thought that if yellow could have cleared blue, red should have taken position there.
I think this is quite a poor outcome with red as well. Yeah, you can't jaws it now. Blue's south of the hoop. Robbie has got a free jump. It'd be good to see it's not Robbie's forte, long jumps.
This is just take position, Jenny, isn't it? On
Probably
fractionally
is, to
on
be
the
honest.
eastern side of the hoop,
Yeah.
2 foot jumping range, so yellow can't clear you.
You're right, yeah. Oh, where's he gone?
Again, it's gone to the east, and I think yellow should be able to clear that.
Yeah.
And if you just go, what, 9 inches further west,
Hey, he's not touching it.
yellow can't clear you. And this is where he was before, and this is why I was saying the clearance with the red is just weak.
I think that little hand on hip's a small sign of not being pleased with the shot.
Yeah.
But Robbie's body language is generally very good.
To be fair to Robbie, most of these lawns slope towards the clubhouse.
Yes.
So he might have been expecting it sort of a half a ball of hill east, and he's got half a ball of hill west.
Oh, well, I was told on Hoop 1 everything was going to hill towards the clubhouse, and it didn't.
See,
That's a
you
shock.
just can't get the staff these days, can you?
You cannot get the scouting reports.
Oh, that's awful. I
Probably
personally think it was clean, because I think he hit the wire.
Right.
It straightened his mallet up from where he was aiming,
Hence the miss.
and it came out, rather than it coming off the bevel to finish there. Because I don't think he was capable of hitting it off the left-hand bevel. Sorry, the right-hand bevel.
And the mallet came through fairly straight.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely clean. And Robbie here, once again, has got two options. He can either try and block red at black, which I think he's going to do, or take hoop position, blocking yellow at the hoop.
The problem with blocking red at black is black's quite close, so you're not going to get hoop position in a block.
Correct.
So if you don't get the block, you might end up with nothing.
I'm a big man for keeping my balls in front of the hoop in running position and trying to block my opponents having any hoop shot. So I'm going to concede this shot to red. Let red hit black if it wants to.
I think blue's a couple of balls short as well.
And blue's finished a couple of balls short, yeah.
But black's got clearance on yellow to the north boundary.
Or another
If it needs
attempt
it.
to play into block.
No, he hates it. Oh, that miscount's getting high with Solomon. I wonder if we might see a change to shooting with Irish grip.
Interesting. So, 4-0. About as good a reply from losing the first game as you could hope.
Yeah.
Good positional shot there by Matthew at 5. And Robbie, once again, we're seeing this clearing with the first ball when you're within 7 yards.
Yeah, it's a shorter shot, and I know it's something you've been advocating for quite some time now.
No, I've been going about the importance of clearing with the third ball in.
Yeah, but you're saying that when the first ball is that many yards shorter.
Yeah, yeah. When you're within 5 yards, I always want you to take that. 7 yards, particularly when Matthew has a bad red in corner 4, and Matthew isn't just going to clear your ball that you play in.
And he's not guaranteed to get hoop position as well as an important feature
Yeah,
there.
I'm much more open towards that second ball playing in that scenario where the third ball is a long way away, and you've got your standard sort of, what is it, 11-ish yard, 12-yardish clearance from the ball that's run hoop 4. So I don't think that position was black and white. I would probably have played position with the second ball there.
Okay. I think Reg would have, because Reg is shooting so well.
That's a good clearance, and he's rushed it to wide from red.
Excellent
So
shot.
all Robbie can do now is play back in and force Matthew to run a not straightforward hoop with red.
Is that reaching? Oh, it's hilling. It's hilling horribly.
Well, it's not reaching, I think, Jenny. And it's finished. Well, if Matthew runs the hoop, he's probably going to hit blue, isn't he?
But it's what, hilled a foot though?
Has hilled, yeah.
Might get lucky and Matthew might run the hoop into it. Oh, I think this is near wire.
Well, I don't think Matthew can run this
Straighten it
hoop 6, can he?
Well, that's the thing, I think he could hit.
Oh, he can. He can. It's short of that position. It's a really good hoop there, running it well past the peg.
Lovely smooth hoop shot again.
And yeah, definitely a runnable hoop 6 and controls that entire area.
Tempted with the rush here.
Yes. absolutely good spot. Blue is rubbish, isn't it? Blue can't do anything. So we're going to leave you now and pass you back over to Alison, and you're going to get some fresh commentators.
Hi everyone. So we're going to have a change of volunteers. You're going to have a new cameraman on the main camera, which is Paul. And on commentary, we can welcome Nelson Morrow and Animal McDermott and Jack Good, who has been doing your scoring this morning, I think is going to be replaced by Aston Wade. So please thank all of them with me and hope you enjoy the next lot of croquet.
Hey.
Well, good afternoon, Annabelle.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. We are the fresh commentators.
And on a glorious, glorious day in Southwick. So just a recap, Matthew took the first game, and in the second game, Robert Fletcher is leading 4-1. Matthew has just taken on hoop 6, which he failed with yellow. Robert is sitting in a prime position to take this hoop and take the score to 5-1. This is not a game you played very much, is it, Annabelle?
I don't really play GC. I don't really, yeah. I give it a go at the club on a club afternoon or something like that. And with the afternoon play that I do, right now we'd be looking at jawsing it or something because the red is halfway to the next hoop. Obviously
Anyway,
not here.
He has run that beautifully through, so the score is now 5-1 to Robert.
It got a lot of wire, didn't it?
It got a lot of wire,
really
but he had put a lovely top spin on it, which then took it through the hoop. But these hoops are very well set. They're firmly in the ground, and they are fairly tight as well. So Robert is looking, I should imagine, at clearing the red at this point, which often happens with the hoops which are closer together. Clearing is a much easier option. Yes, and he clears it beautifully.
Nice shot.
Yep, both balls have gone to the boundary. The lawns have really sped up since the beginning of the week, and I've been playing all week. I sadly lost yesterday, so I am out of it. But they really have got much faster in the last couple of days.
Not seeing the sand kicking up so much
No,
either.
the sand has settled in, you know, which is good. But no, they've
Leveled it off, and then the speed has really picked up with this gorgeous weather we've been
gorgeous weather. It's just fantastic. Ideal croquet conditions.
It's not very British weather.
More Kiwi weather.
Ooh, little clip on
little
yellow.
clip on yellow.
So yellow's
which is-
still nicely in front of.
Absolutely, yes. It's probably 3 to 4 yards back.
Yeah.
Matthew's going to put another ball in. Here's, ooh, that's what I'm saying about the lawns becoming so much
Nifty.
faster. To judge that, you really need to aim to a certain point and let the ball then do the rest of the work. You know, it's obviously getting the mindset in that the ball is going to roll much further than.
Yeah.
I have a way of always I try to look for a spot only sort of perhaps 2/3 the way, and that's what I'm aiming for, and then let the ball roll the rest of the distance.
Yeah. And allow for a bit of margin of error, come out a bit more.
Well, that's right. Yeah. Don't try and go in too tight to a hoop. I mean, if you come back a couple of feet, you're giving yourself a lot more chance of actually arriving on a spot where you can actually run the hoop.
Oh, good.
Great hoop by Robert. Fantastic.
I thought he was going for yellow.
Through and right down to the
Bulk.
south boundary. Yeah. So 6-1 to Robert Fletcher, and first game to Matthew. We have a good country representation in the semi-finals, obviously with one American, one Australian, one English and one South African. So no country is certainly dominating. And for the first time ever, we do not have an Egyptian in the final. In all 13 previous Worlds, there's been an Egyptian in the final. I think it just shows how much the game has developed and
in the other countries.
In other countries, yeah.
Because Egypt were just the country to
they
beat,
they dominated really until the I think the Kiwis sort of really came along and challenged them. I mean, it's been the odd person who has, like, you know, Mark McInerney came along and won, obviously Reg, but even on the teams event now, the last two teams event, New Zealand has won those with Egypt runner-up.
Yeah, I think I saw one of those.
Yeah, well, there's been 3 team events so far. The Egyptians won the first, and the Kiwis have won the last 2. Oh, hello.
Oh, we're live on screen.
We're live on screen.
Lucky you.
You can see what a beautiful day it is, because the sun is really shining on us here. Matthew went for the hoop.
Bounced out of it.
Yeah.
A little bit too much left wire.
Yeah, well, it was. I'm not sure it was the best tactic, but anyway, he obviously felt that he could run it from there. And sometimes when you are behind 6-1, you need to take on and to get yourself, you know, in the game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you really are on the back foot.
Yeah, play more aggressively.
Yep. Well, he's got to do something, you know.
So what's he going to do with blue? Is he thinking of jawsing it? I'm guessing he can't see red.
I don't think he can see red, so he's looking. Jawsing is not the best idea here, because obviously red is in a jumping position. He may look at promoting black into red to snuggle up against
the way of red.
Yeah, snuggle up against it.
Do like snuggling.
I do like
Nelson,
so do I. None of us snuggle. I have to say it's my forte in the game.
Really?
Good bit of snuggling.
Okay, so why does he need a ref?
I think he's asking for the hoop to be put more solidly into the
Yeah,
ground.
okay.
Obviously, when they get hit quite hard, the hoops do become a little bit loose.
And he needs
so
he wants a
firm hoop.
Doesn't want anything going, any of that energy wasted on the hoop.
No, absolutely. Because I imagine he's going to hit quite hard.
Yeah. And he can.
And he can.
And he really can.
Another interesting aspect we were talking about before we came on commentary, we were just saying that all these 4 semi-finalists are major AC players.
Yeah, really surprising.
You've got 3 AC World Champions and one runner-up in the 4 of the semi-finalists.
How many championships did you say Reg and Fulford have?
They've got between them, I think they have 12 World Championships.
Good hoop to Matthew.
Yeah.
Jumped over blue.
Yeah. And that was the problem with what Robert
the
did.
jawsing.
Yeah. And now, of course, I mean, luckily he can get his first ball over to a hoop 9, but his other ball is in the hoop, and therefore if Matthew clears his yellow, he's really in the driving seat there. So. Yeah, being stuck in the hoop is never a good option if someone can jump you. Robert put a beautiful positional ball in 9. So Matthew is probably going for the clearance. He misses. And it ends up nearly the full length of the next
in the next game.
Yeah. Yes, it doesn't look like he's actually right in the hoop in the way he's looking at.
Is that a clip on the ground behind it?
It is.
Oh.
It hasn't been put back from when Matthew did the jump.
Yeah.
So he's calling on the referee, Francis Coleman, because there is a chance, as he's going across the hoop there, to actually to do a crush. That means the blue going onto the wire of the hoop.
Obviously not in the as much in the jaws as it looks like.
No, that's
from
right.
our
From here,
angle.
yeah. It's always hard to
Don't know
get
where
perspective.
the camera. Oh, the camera's over there,
It's
so
down lower
you
now.
can't
Yeah,
necessarily see.
No. But he obviously has got enough
Just
to
a bit
get
more,
across. Yeah,
Oh,
and he
yes.
does. Yeah.
Easy.
So Matthew will be taking on the clearance with red on black. And he misses again. Yes, Matthew was the finalist at the last AC Worlds in Melbourne in 2020, where Reg Bamford won. So, Robert to level the match at 1 game all. Yes, beautifully run. So 1 game all, 1 game, and Robert won that game 7-2.
Fairly convincingly.
Fairly convincingly, yep. It's funny how in 1 game someone will win the game quite convincingly. The second one, the opponent switches. It happens so often.
I see it in AC as well.
Yep.
I didn't realise it happened in golf.
It does happen a lot. Yeah. So certainly, I think this match has the potential to going to 5.
I hope so.
Yep.
We want a decent
That's
match.
right. Best for the spectators, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just having a recap on the match between Robert Fulford and Reg Bamford. Reg Bamford took the first game. I think it was 7-4, but I'm not positive about that, and I can't read the board from here.
7-4 as well.
And at the moment, it is 1-0 to
Reg, isn't it?
to Robert.
Robert. Yeah. They've fought for that hoop for a long time.
They have. Well, yesterday when Reg was playing Richard Bilton, they had, after I think over an hour, the score was 2-0.
And wow, all that clearing.
Yeah, all that clearing.
Yeah. Quality. I do like the clearing. I do like it. I think it looks. You just yes.
Yeah, but you can't.
But at the same time,
you can't be clearing
you want
all
the game
time,
to get going as well.
And also, if you watch Robert Fulford and Reg Bamford and Robert Fletcher, the they have much more controlled clearing. You know, because with their clearing, they're wanting
Get the
their
pace
ball
right.
to stay near the
Yeah.
hoop as well. There's no point in
Pace and
clearing
angle.
that both balls are miles from the hoop. So they have a much more measured way of clearing. Obviously, they want to hit centre ball because that makes obviously the ball stay where you want it. But they're also, their pace is more controlled, I think. And I think that comes from them being AC players. Yeah, they tend to have better touch.
Oh, random. Oh,
Ran-
another ball going across.
and to
Caught
give
one
give you a
from over
recap
there.
on another game we're just watching here. I suppose we could turn the camera towards them. I don't know what the camera is doing at the moment. Why don't I turn this camera?
Yeah, you have to lift the whole thing.
Yes. Okay. So it's the final of the bowl between JP Mobley and Stuart Smith. Shield. Oh, sorry, Shield. You're quite right. Okay. And
It's one game each.
it's one game each.
We're in the third.
And 5-2 to John Paul in the second. Oh, is it? Sorry.
No, yeah, he's
You're
playing
quite
black
right.
and blue.
Yep. Sorry, looking at the wrong coloured balls.
It's frustrating. It's lovely. The signs are really clear with red and yellow, black and blue, and the scores, and the names are just such tiny print.
names.
I'm thinking, where are my binoculars?
Yes, yeah. Yes, Stuart's gone 6-2 up. We're going to turn now to concentrate on the Robert Fulford and Reg Bamford match. Yeah. Is the camera on them? Yeah. Do you want to
So
turn around?
this one's opposite.
So, as we were said earlier, Reg Bamford took the first game, and it is 2-0 to Robert in the second. Cleared the black from hoop 3.
I'm going to grab the binoculars and see if I can
Yes.
read what that score was in the first game.
Okay.
Oh.
7-5. We were
Thank
up.
you.
Yeah. So we were both wrong. We were close.
It's a busy lawn, that one, with lots of people moving around.
Yes. Okay.
They've got the barbecue in the corner as well, haven't they? Oh, no, we're back.
Oh. Okay. We will be returning to our featured match between Matthew Essex and Jack Fletcher. So we will return to that in a couple of moments.
I'm guessing Robert's looking to clear blue with red.
He is. I mean, he could put a ball in, but the problem is with clearing with the yellow, you're not going to clear it that far.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we're ready to
Oh,
go.
we're back on the other
We're
lawn.
back on the other lawn.
Keep dropping your phone.
Phone. So we are returning to, again, the featured match between Robert and Matthew, which stands at 1 game all. Okay, Matthew first off as being the loser from the last game, and he has.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yes, loser
Do
always
they
starts
always
first.
stay with the same colours?
They always stay with the same colours,
Right.
and they also, the loser always the first to start. So, nothing to do.
Is it because it's the loser, or because the last shot that was played in the
No,
last
nothing,
game was
nothing to do
by
with it.
the,
You
right,
can,
okay.
and Matthew also can play either ball. He could play red or
Oh,
yellow.
okay.
He does not have to choose to play red. and it's always the loser that plays first. So
Alison
Robert, you notice, put a
does
deep.
like to make sure the camera's on her.
Robert put a deep ball there because red wasn't in a 100% hoop running position,
Yeah.
whereas he'd put the black in front of red. It gave red then an easy stop shot clearance.
Positional.
Just adjusting ourselves so that
So we can snuggle.
yeah, so we can snuggle again. Okay, so
Blue's joined the others.
blue has joined the others.
I like the back of the court.
I'm not sure that black can actually see the red. And looking at Robert Hatton,
Straight line to the hoop,
I
though.
think he's going to take. Matthew's going to take on the hoop. He does, but fails the hoop.
It's a bit of an angle,
And
wasn't
I
it?
imagine that Robert will go for clear the yellow. There's no need for him to go for the hoop because he will then have two balls in front, and yellow will be up
So
on
he'll
the
go
north
for a lot of
boundary.
stop
Yeah, a
on
lot of
this
stop
to
on
keep
that, yep.
black near, well,
Yeah.
preferably in front of the hoop, I suppose.
Yep.
Katonk.
It's
In control. He's in control of the hoop.
It has stayed near the hoop. It's not in a hoop running position, but he has got blue in a hoop running position, and I would think he will take on the hoop. There's no point in him putting a ball into just a position because red can easily clear it.
That's true. And yellow goes back.
Yellow goes
looking
back.
for position.
Yep.
Deep position.
Yep, he's gone deep.
We've got a spare board here.
Yeah, there's tons. Yep, beautifully run.
Makes it look easy.
Does make it look easy, doesn't it?
And off on the north boundary.
Yeah.
Nice gentle shot, but it just keeps running,
he
and that's
may have
actually
been
quite
looking-
nice. Oh, is he to the side a bit?
So, no, it's not too
Slightly
bad.
angled,
Yeah, it's
slightly angled, but
back a couple of yards.
yeah, doable.
Yep, doable. These guys from their ability were
And
not too
actually,
much trouble.
I think it's inside of blue, actually.
Yeah, I don't think it's wide. As I think you'll explain to you before, wired means that the blue ball wouldn't be able to see the red ball because the hoop would be in the way.
Matthew just made hoop two.
Has he?
He
He trickled through.
He dribbled up, and it just, yeah, I'm having
You
this.
have that bit of luck in this
I'm
game.
having this. You got the first one, I'm having the
That's right,
second.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. That wasn't his intention, you know.
I don't think it was. I think it was
No,
going
it
for
wasn't.
position.
Oh,
wasn't it?
absolutely, yeah. But sometimes you get a little bit of luck, and
That's a nice position from
nice
Robbie
position
there.
from blue. Matthew shoots
Katonk.
and misses.
Nice to have a ball boy.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And this is just going to join blue.
Yep, he's putting a second ball in.
Hope he doesn't get between the hoop and the blue.
No, he's perfect.
It is.
He hasn't tried to protect the blue. He's just made sure he's got two balls in front.
So Matthew's going to try and tonk blue, isn't he?
Yep.
Did you tell me how many championships Reg and Robert had between them?
Yeah. I think 12
we
in
didn't.
total.
I thought we got
yeah.
sidetracked.
Yeah,
12 in
total.
total.
Mm.
My word.
I think that's correct. I know Robert has 5 AC, and I think Reg has the same, and he has 2 GC.
Reg does.
Huh. Yes, he won in Cairo, and he won.
Oof.
I'm trying to remember where the Reg's other GC win was. Cairo and.
So the worlds rotate around different countries.
They
Which
do.
are the other countries?
Well, I mean,
Where is it mostly?
I've played in 6 GC World Championships. I've
So you're a
played.
good person to ask.
Yeah, I've played here, and I've played in New Zealand and South Africa.
Right.
And also I played in
Obviously
a
there's
qualifier
Cairo.
in the United States. So I think of the GC Worlds, they have been held. The first one was in Italy.
Italy?
And then Leamington Spa. They have been held in South Africa, New Zealand, America,
Egypt.
and Egypt. Yeah, that's not what he really wanted, just to clip the blue and leave that in
No.
a hoop running position.
This is it. In AC, you go, yeah, I've hit the
got
ball.
that.
Wah. Oh, and then you go, oh no, that didn't work.
No.
I'd be eligible to play for Egypt.
Would you?
My father was born there.
Oh, really?
Would you believe it?
Wow.
I don't think they'd want me.
I'm sure they'd love to have you, Annabelle.
Social secretary only.
Yes, there's very little AC played in Egypt. I mean, there has been the odd Egyptian play in AC Worlds, but not for some years. I remember playing one in 2002 in New Zealand, and in fact he was here watching.
What, this one?
Oh, yeah,
shot.
great shot.
So we've said shot, and we haven't said if you're not actually able to view. Matthew's just tonked black away from the hoop, so
You may
obviously blue is still in the jaws.
You may be wondering why Robert didn't actually run that hoop, but he gains great advantage by actually just jawsing it. And because there were no other balls in a hoop running position, his jaws, this way he can actually take good position at 4 as well. So
I was thinking that if black was still there, black would promote blue up to the next hoop. No.
Promotion is never a good idea unless it's an absolute must.
Right.
Because what often happens, your ball then ends up, perhaps stuck against the jaws or in the jaws or on the wire.
Okay,
So,
but if Matthew had missed black just then,
he still
what would black have chosen to do?
He may have tried to put it
Go halfway or something?
halfway, or put wide and make sure that Matthew had no ball from yellow
Shot.
at blue. I mean, there is a chance he could get this out,
Ooh.
like he did, but which is a
All
great
he's done
shot.
is it's still-
But
still in
unfortunately,
front, isn't it?
when you're that close to the hoop, even if you hit it, it will rebound off the wire, come back, and still be in a hoop running position. But at the same time, it's worth Matthew taking it on because
in the jaws, it's
because-
100% guaranteed.
This way, it's harder for Robert to actually get exact position
at the
4.
other end. Yeah.
He's doing the same thing again because Matthew is on the boundary.
Matthew is nearer now for clearing, though.
He is, but unfortunately, even if he hits it, he's going to hit that far wire, which will bounce it back, probably still into a hoop running position. But he's not going to go for black anyway, initially.
already had that.
Yeah. So now it looks like not sure he's going for promotion or not. No, he's not. He's just putting another ball in. So even if Matthew does get this out, Black's still sitting in a perfect position to run the hoop. You know, he's...
But if he doesn't get it out, isn't he slightly hampered on his blue?
No.
Okay. Goes slightly to the side.
Yeah.
Can't see from this angle. Right.
He got out again, but the same
Good at that
result.
shot.
He's very good, but you can see what happens. Unfortunately, it bounces off the wire, comes back, and it's still in a...
Because the hoops are so solid, it's just going to come back out straight.
I think this
practically.
time he's going to run the hoop because he can be quite controlled with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, nice controlled hoop. Because it was dead in front, he could guarantee getting down to a very
And
good
that's
position.
runnable position.
In
Yeah,
form.
yeah.
So it's 2-1 to Robert.
We went off at a bit of an angle,
Yeah.
so he didn't go too deep.
Yeah, you catch a little bit of wire, we'll send you, in a different direction. He's put a
Slow
ball in.
down.
It's too wide, too long. Robert can still get down and put a second ball in at 4. The crowd is starting to grow. We've got I don't know, what would you say, Annabelle, in terms of numbers looking around? Probably up
More
to-
than I've ever seen before.
Oh, right. Well, yesterday for the match between Robert Fulford and Ahmed Nazir,
Yeah.
there was a good, I don't know, 80 to 100 people here.
It's got to be sort of, I don't know,
Yeah,
60 odd.
60,
50,
yeah,
60.
I'd say, yeah. How many have we got online? So we've got 326 people watching it online, which is amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Our fan club, Nelson.
Yeah, our fan club. Say hi to anyone in New Zealand who's listening.
Yay,
Yeah.
hello to
I
any
know,
of my friends out
I
there.
know it's probably midnight there or just after.
Oh, they'll still be watching then.
Oh no, sorry, it's only 10 past 11. I recalculated that wrong because they're 11 hours ahead.
What do you mean we calculated that wrong? You just said we calculated.
Did I?
Is it the royal we?
It's the real
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
It's the real week.
yeah. So Robert's taking on the what, 4 or 5 yarder?
Yeah.
No
Beautifully
problem.
through, just
No
so smooth. I
problem.
mean, he has such a even paced swing. I mean, it's really a pleasure to watch. Matthew brings the ball into 5.
Nice
More
position.
nice position, directly in front.
Close for Black though.
Robert will take out Black, I imagine. Because the problem is that yellow is sitting very close to blue, and if he doesn't take this out, we can have a snuggle.
Why doesn't AC have nice terms
Like that. I know, well, it
I
does.
think we
I
should-
could think of a couple.
I think we should introduce them.
As I was saying about the snuggle, yellow could really just come very close up to blue. It can't actually hit blue because blue is a boundary ball, and that would be a fault.
He's not going to. He's going for the hoop anyway.
Oh, well, because red's been cleared.
Basically, in
Yeah.
effect, making it very difficult for Robert to actually get any kind
But
of
if he had
position.
missed that, he would
Yeah.
have gone to stop blue being able to hit
Oh,
the
he
red.
missed. Oh, right, okay. Ooh,
Yeah.
can't see with this angle.
He's obviously tried to put the blue where he's really made it difficult for Matthew to
Yellow.
run the hoop.
Hmm.
He hasn't got a clean swing. It does allow Matthew to do a stop shot on the blue and stay at 5. So I think
Yeah, he's putting a ball in.
he's putting a ball in.
That's heavy.
But
That's-
I think that
Oh, it isn't heavy.
no, it's good. I think
I'm
Robert will be looking
over-judging.
at clearing the red now and not the yellow. So sometimes you don't always clear the ball that's about
Next
to run
ball
the
in
hoop.
play.
You clear one before.
So Matthew went up just before he played red. He went up to
Check.
see if yellow did he go to see
Yeah.
if it would play?
Yeah, exactly.
And so how did that alter his decision on where he placed red? Or how might it?
I wouldn't.
Both. That's a cunning shot.
Well, not really, because he's actually
No,
cleared the
they're
blue.
not, yeah, and
But
they're
as you
not,
see, he didn't go to clear the yellow. He went to clear the red. Unfortunately, he also caught his own ball. So
I got them. Yes, I got very mixed up there, didn't I?
Matthew now has a what I call a free shot at 5. And he's jawsed it, so he's what we call second prize. It's probably in a way it's but black has got a chance of clearing it from where it's positioned. So he's now got the option of putting the ball in or going for the red. I imagine he'll put a ball in. Yes, yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Oh well, things like I do. So Matthew has a choice here of trying to block red, black from yellow,
black from
but I don't think that's a good option. I think he's either going to go for the clearance on black or put another ball in. That's the beauty of this game, is there's so many options. And people talk about the tactics of the game, and it's ball placement and what ball you choose to clear or not clear, and he's cleared that beautifully because he's taken it out to the side, which makes the clearing on yellow a much more difficult shot. And he's
still got an eye for it. He can still
he's
he's
probably got a quarter of a ball, but he also has got a obviously a hoop wire in the way, which
I know my head's immediately going, why isn't he having that shot watched? He doesn't need to in this game.
He certainly doesn't. No. It was close, but it was not an easy shot,
No.
So that gives Matthew a very good chance of winning the next 2 hoops. So he should be able to get a perfect position up at 6, as long as he doesn't hit the peg.
Gone round it.
No, he's done it.
Oh, it's a real angle.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's gonna.
stop.
It's gonna. I don't think that's
not
a runnable
runnable,
position.
no.
Yeah. But he's still near the hoop,
Yeah,
which stops Robert being able to put a near ball, because he can do an easy stop shot clearance on it. So he's going to go slightly. Yeah.
I mean, he went through that. I mean, he was quite nicely in the jaws, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
so he's
I'm
hit
not
it
sure
quite hard to the
totally
right.
agree with Robert's position there,
No?
but no. But he perhaps has decided he's going to take on the clearance on yellow.
What would you have chosen to do with blue then? Or what would...
I would have put it out to the other side so that it didn't give a yellow an easy stop shot clearance. But he's taking the option of bringing black in, and he's going to say, well, he's actually gone too hard, so he's really not got any control on the
Not helped himself yet.
So Matthew was able to stop.
That's a nice little shot.
Clearance.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have been happier to have actually stayed dead on, which would mean make yellow stay right in front, but he's still in a hoop running position for both red and yellow.
But surely by hitting it slightly on the side, that gave yellow the better option of staying in runnable position.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And so Robert's going to put the pressure on here, saying, okay, if you don't run this hoop, I'm sitting there and I can clear the yellow with black.
Oh, forcing him to play the hoop. Nice.
And he's run the hoop beautifully. So we go to 3-all.
Yeah.
So game all, 3-all. So there's nothing in it really.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good game to be watching, I think.
Yep. And you learn a lot, I think, by watching these games.
You're not going to test me afterwards.
No, I'm not. Yes, I've got a written test for you.
If I pick up a little bit, I would be very happy if I pick up little bits.
Yeah, you will.
That would be marvellous.
It's all about making those choices between clearing, positioning, placement.
And touch.
Yep.
Missed.
But touch doesn't come into a decision about your strategy. Touch is just a skill, isn't it?
Well, knowing which
Yep.
which to use though.
Yeah. And you're
usually.
also evaluating your opponent. You know, you know what their strengths are. You know, are they a good positional player? Are they a good clearer? You know, you're always sort of thinking about that.
I hadn't thought about that side. And Matthew gets rid of black.
Black, but
Where's yellow?
yellow is
Yeah, no, yellow's towards the second corner. A couple of yards out, so it's
Right.
definitely
you can probably get a block.
do something with it.
Block. I think. Oh no, you can clear the red.
Yeah, black will clear the red and,
Just where
and
we're
get
sitting
in
here,
front of the hoop.
we've
can't
got the little pavilion here in our way, so it's hard to see what's going on in the corner too.
you? Yeah, that's a nice little shot. Well, I think it's a nice little shot.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful shot.
Oh, thank you.
He achieved what he wanted to achieve, was clear the red and hold position.
Hold position. I like that expression. The amount of times I've been watching this online along with other people, and I've gone, "Oh, that's a good shot," and the commentator has said, "Oh, no, he really didn't want to do that." And I'm going, "What? I'm misunderstanding this."
No, I can't really see the real position of yellow. If yellow is in it, he will go for position in it. He
Shot.
and he shot at
Yellow's between 3 and 4.
he shot it.
Yellow's going towards 4.
Oh yes, of course it is. So he's cleared the blue, but it's black's play next. Black will get himself into a much better position. 7.
I'm guessing he was looking to clear black. That would have been his preferred option. I'd have
Well,
thought.
I think he was wired from it.
Ah.
But he brings the ball in, and he's gone fairly deep. Robert will now be looking to put a block in between black and yellow.
I think your head needs to be turned towards the mic a little bit more. I'm not sure people could have heard that. You're
Did I move?
facing away. You're
Let's
facing
just go
away.
a little bit
Yeah,
further
that's a
back
good
with
idea.
That's a good, yeah. Yes,
Centre ball.
centre ball, great clearance.
Mm.
It's out on the boundary.
And red's near enough to do some damage.
Yeah. But it was very important he actually hit that ball. That was the prime objective there, because Robert would have definitely run the hoop.
Yes, I think if I were Matthew, I'd be rather happy with that shot.
If they are up in I don't know why we've got corner 2 here. Oh,
No, it's court 2.
no, corner 2.
This is court 2, so they all say 2.
Oh, they all say 2. Do they? Oh, they do too.
They do.
Ah.
How do I know? Because I put them out earlier thinking, how is this corner 2? It's the wrong colour. I was doing the same as you.
I hadn't noticed that. Oh, very observant of you. So Matthew
Have my
has
moments.
run for the hoop with yellow great shot, and he now takes a 4-3 lead in the third game. Are we getting any comments there? Why it wasn't in New Zealand? Main reason, COVID.
Oh yes, it's been closed a long time.
Yes, our
hasn't it?
borders were closed, and and when the decision to be made that we were going to hold it in February this year, they had to make that decision sort of many months before, and New Zealand couldn't guarantee that the borders would be open, and they wouldn't have been anyway. So
And just want it to go ahead.
It was a right decision, and so therefore it wasn't
They've had
held
to
in New
delay
Zealand,
so
and
much, yeah.
and that's why Southwick took up the baton and agreed to hold it here.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was due to be in New Zealand.
Yes, originally should have been in 21, then it was moved to 22, and they didn't really want to wait yet another year. Would have meant actually 4 years since the last one, so they brought it back to the same venue that they held the World Champs 3 years ago.
That's so frustrating, isn't it?
Yes, so we have had an unusual and difficult couple of years, really. Okay.
Nearly got the in off.
Robert clears the red. Nearly got an in off, as you say. Yellow looks to be behind the hoop.
Yeah,
so
he did a gentle shot. I was guessing he was going for position at hoop 8, but he clipped the back wire and just stopped.
New Zealand is holding the under 21 World Champs in February next year. Are you hoping to go? I was just asking Jack whether he was hoping to go. He certainly would be a good contender, I think.
It's a big commitment.
So that's being held at the beginning of February next year at Mount Maunganui, which I think you have been to, Annabelle?
I think I have, yeah. Way back when.
Yep.
Travelled to all different places in 1990.
Yes, you did
A tour, a croquet tour.
A year tour, was it?
Yeah.
Yes. To America,
Fabulous.
New Zealand, Australia.
New Zealand, Australia, America, and Canada.
Canada.
I had a
Must have been
week's holiday in Hawaii in between because obviously I needed a break.
Oh, of course, from croquet. Must have been a fantastic experience.
Oh,
though.
it was marvellous. I was there with Debbie Lyons Cornelius then. And we started off by going for the Mac Robertson Shield, which was being held in Christchurch in New Zealand. And then parted. Yeah, had fabulous time. Marvellous just being able to rock up at a croquet club and just say, anybody fancy a game? So nice. Have mallet, can travel.
Yeah.
Backpackers, stayed at backpackers mostly, so it's doable.
Yep. Anyway, Robert is looking to clear the yellow ball, which is at hoop 9.
Yeah, nice position.
Yeah, and in a beautiful position. I mean, absolutely just perfect. And he misses.
Still in nice position.
Yep. So it's 4-all, game all. Matthew has brought another ball in. Position not as good as the yellow, but he may have been looking to get a wide block between
black and yellow.
Yeah.
Wired. I already know now it's blocked.
Blocked. Well, yeah. Okay.
It could be either.
Yeah. Blocked is probably a better way of putting it when you use a ball.
No.
And he hits the yellow. Well done.
It was a long distance to try and get a block position, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I want to say that's a shame, but actually it was a good shot. It was
Very good shot. So he'll put another ball in. Yes, in America. Yeah, I imagine that it will be in Florida. At the.
Did they hear the question?
The question was, where will the next GC Worlds be held? And I understand they are to be held in America in 2024.
Where?
In America, I don't know.
You don't know.
No, it would either be Mission Hills or Palm Beach in Florida, and I imagine Palm Beach in Florida because that's their main croquet centre. Yeah. It was held there in 2009 when Ben Rothman got to the final, and when I think did Reg win that one?
Who's had pizzas delivered?
I know, we can smell
Look
it.
at
It's
this.
making us hungry. What time is it by you, by the way? 10 to 1. For some reason my watch stopped.
Oh,
He fails that. It
went for the angle. He hit the
wasn't
outside of the left wire.
wire. Wasn't an easy hoop, but he missed it
No.
very badly.
Yeah. Could have made a better effort than that.
Yeah. So Robert will be looking to clear the yellow, which is probably about a 7-yard shot, wouldn't you say?
Get another ball.
And he clears it beautifully right to the other boundary. Great shot. So if Matthew doesn't get a block in from the hoop from blue, I would imagine that Robert will be taking on this hoop.
Yeah. Yeah, red's too
You've
close
got-
not to.
well,
they
you've got-
can't
you've
take
got-
position.
And you've got to take your opportunities. He doesn't have a ball in with black, and perhaps this probably is maybe the and Matthew decided that's what he was going to do, so he made sure he cleared him
Just like that.
just like that.
Easy.
Easy. But it's still in a hoop running position. It's a free shot, really. Even if he bounces out, he's got nothing.
Same as before.
got
He
nothing
can't,
to lose,
still
no.
can't put it in front
No,
of the
no,
hoop. can he, with
he's
red there?
got to go for the hoop here.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying before about these choices you make. The reason he's shooting now is because neither yellow or red are in a hoop running position, and his black ball is not run either. So he fails. But it's not a disaster, you know.
Yeah, still near the hoop.
Matthew still doesn't
It's
have.
going to be now tricky for
Yeah.
Matthew to take position, so
Yeah.
he'll take a longer
He'll
position.
take a long position.
I understood that.
Well
I
done.
knew
there we
he
go.
was
Yeah,
going to do
see,
that.
you're learning.
I must be learning.
You are
something.
learning. Yeah. You're a quick learner.
Not been told that before.
So black brings the ball in.
Not between red and the hoop. It looks as though it's.
Yep. So yeah, interesting choices for Matthew here. Whether he puts another ball in or whether he goes, because I don't think black is in a hoop running position. It looks a bit angly to me, but it's a bit hard to tell from this angle. But
I think it's doable.
you do think it
I
is?
think it's doable. As you say, angled.
Yeah.
But I think it's doable. Oh, I don't know with these hoops.
But he went for the clearance on the
Yeah.
blue, which allows Matthew to then run the hoop with red.
Which he positioned there himself,
He did.
so he knows he can run it.
Yeah. But these hoops are not easy to run. They are, as I say, they are very solid in the ground, and any little bit of wire you catch, you're going to get a rejection.
There's going to be some sort of reaction from the ball. I do like these hoops. They're so solid and narrow.
Yeah.
And the fact that the players tonk them through the hoop and still catch wire.
You may have heard some applause there. Stuart Smith has just won the Shield, beating JP Mobley. Stuart has had a fantastic tournament. He was seeded, I think, 6th in his block, and he's gone through to basically be in position 9. I think, is that right? Yes, must be. It's 9.
You got that.
Ninth.
Matthew went nicely through that hoop.
Yep.
And he's off the north boundary.
So Matthew
That's
goes
right.
ahead, 5-4. Yes, the shield is the second round losers, which is obviously the 16. And so if you win that, you end up in 9th position. And I think he was actually seeded. He was telling me the other day he was actually seeded 43 for this tournament. So he's done extremely well.
Right. Nice position from Robert there.
Yep.
On, here we go, hoop 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes, 10. Yes. 4 back in your language.
It's maths. It's all maths.
So Robert is bringing another ball in, I think. Yep. Another ball comes in.
It's
He already
quite
has.
heavy.
Yeah, it's
it's gone.
going to be
No.
pretty nice, I
No.
think.
Yeah, nice pace.
Pretty nice. Yep. Great shot.
Can red see black? That's the
Yep.
question.
And Matthew has probably got about a 10-yard shot.
You think red can see black?
I think it can. Yep.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been looking at where the yellow could
yeah.
run.
Okay, yeah. Very carefully position it back on the lawn so he's not giving himself an advantage or a disadvantage by moving it in slightly because of his
His feet can be,
the effect,
yeah, and also
the
his feet,
slight raising of
yeah,
the lawn and
yeah.
everything at the
and
end.
also because of the grass being longer,
Mm.
further back. It's more of an issue in GC than it is in AC because obviously in AC we bring the balls on a yard. Great,
Shot.
fantastic shot. Hits it beautifully right down the south boundary. Great shot. And I think that black cannot see yellow.
But then if he's not going to want to tonk blue, is he?
Not really. And also, probably the
he doesn't get it
hardest
exact.
shot in the book is to hit one ball onto another.
Even that close, it's just
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
distance of black.
You've still got to be
he's-
so accurate
he's
to
going for the
achieve
hoop.
that. He's
You think
going
he's
for the
going
hoop.
for the
I
hoop?
think he's going for the hoop.
I kind of want him to get this. Watching it. Ooh.
So he went for the hoop. It was his only option. And Matthew's now going to attempt to run hoop 10. If it cheeses, he goes to a 6-4 lead. And a beautifully run.
Lovely
nice
smooth
swing.
stroke, wasn't
Absolutely.
it? Yeah.
Yep. So now 6-4 to Matthew.
Saw
So
the hoop move quite a bit. It wasn't
did,
that,
you-
it
no,
wasn't
no.
that powerful a shot.
no, but
it
the hoop did
moved
move.
quite
Yeah.
a bit.
Well, the problem is that's why you see the referees coming on
Yeah,
and
yeah,
hammering the
giving
hoops
talk,
on
yep.
because they, with the speed and the strength they sometimes run the hoops, they do loosen them. You'll see the Egyptians are always hammering in the hoops. They do it nearly on every hoop.
Well, while I was watching it, nobody from work is watching this, are they? Well, while I was
Of course
watching
not.
the
No, no.
commentary,
Yes.
watching the live stream
Yep.
at work, I couldn't work out why not just the Egyptians, actually a lot of people kept calling on the referee. I just couldn't get it in my head. It was to tighten
Yeah.
make the hoops more solid.
Because
Makes such a
technically,
difference.
you're not supposed to do it
He'd be going
yourself.
for the hoop now. Oh no, he'd be going for blue. He'd be going for
He'd be
clear
going
and
for blue,
blue.
yeah,
wouldn't he? Yeah.
Yes, I mean you shouldn't be doing it yourself. It should be the referee to do it. But
I see some of them
some-
just do a
I
little
know,
tap
I
with a
know,
mallet or
but
something.
they're not. It's the Egyptians who mainly do that.
Ooh. Hey, did you get it?
Yep, he ran the hoop. Fantastic. So that is game 2 to Matthew Essex, who pulled out an impressive.
Game 3.
What did I say?
Game 2.
Oh no, sorry, I meant to say.
Matthew has 2 games
Yeah, he has
to 1.
2 games to 1. Yeah.
And are they likely to break for lunch, do you think? Or
I
they're
would
just gonna
think they'll
go
break for
straight
lunch.
into
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I would think they will have a break for lunch.
And do we know what's happening
We'll
with
just see in a moment. So we'll look over to
Reg and Robert?
it's 6-all in the second game between Robert Fulford and Reg Bamford. And blue is on the boundary, yellow is halfway between hoop and boundary, well, third way between hoop and boundary. Robert has 2 good balls.
13,
The
yes.
13, yes.
I
Robert
couldn't work out what he was doing.
doing. And Reg is down on the
Should we
south
turn it? Have
boundary.
we got a camera over there?
Yes, I suppose we
Because
could
we can
turn
quickly.
this light. If I can move this camera so you can see. If you move my chair,
Mm-hmm. You're.
I'll go around the other side.
Well, then we'll swap because you have more information than me.
Go there. So 6-all, and Robert is attempting to
This is to take the
13
second game.
to level the score at each. Done that beautifully. So 1-all.
We might be about to break for lunch as well.
I think so. So
At least we got to
might
see
be
that
able to break for lunch
quickly.
too, mightn't we?
Yeah.
I think we'll probably stop for now.
Hi everybody, that's going to be the end of our stream for this morning. The 2 o'clock session I will try and start early for you all, just when the games begin, and I believe Chris Clark will be returning for some more commentary. Look forward to seeing you shortly.